that God exists.
Right, but the globe doesn't.
Right.
Isn't there something
Right.
interesting
So
to
why
that,
are you
Matthew?
leaning towards the globe?
Yeah, isn't there something interesting to that? Like, why
Yeah, the
is that?
contrapositive isn't true. So logically, if flat Earth implies that God exists, that doesn't mean if the Earth is not flat, then that implies that God does not exist. So that's a contrapositive that doesn't work logically.
Wait, say it again. Sorry, so you mind saying it again?
So one statement could be, if the Earth is flat, then God exists. But that does not necessarily mean that if the flat Earth does not exist, therefore God does not exist.
Oh,
That
okay.
doesn't follow.
Yeah. I mean, I generally hear you. A lot of people believe in the globe and have a view on.
Yeah, most
theism.
Christians believe in the globe.
Yeah, and I have friends that are very wise and intelligent in many ways, spiritually and so on. They just haven't really. Some of them have not gone all into the shape of the Earth discussion fully and so on. And yeah, many of them have very deep spiritual and religious traditional viewpoints and so on. And many of them just in communities and so on, friends of mine and colleagues, where they do believe in the globe still, like they haven't changed their whole cosmology in that sense, but yeah, they believe that it's all created. It's all like divinely orchestrated. Even like I know people that even do like the plant medicines and so on. They if they still think it's a globe, but they just think that the intelligence, creator, however you want to. Many people have different views on God, that term as well. How that all kind of sorts out. Well, I guess I'm just saying they think that a god or creator or high level intelligence, etc., just created the globe and the solar system and the planets and all that. They just think that that's what God created. So I mean, yeah, you can.
Gio, why
still
haven't you flat smacked them? Don't you feel like it's your civil responsibility to wake them up from their globe Earth coma? Give them a
I generally
give them a
don't.
globortion, as Renee used to say. I give them.
Well,
a
I don't really get that
globortion.
much into. I'm not really into like proselytizing, but I brought it up to some of my friends for sure. In fact, some of the ones that are see. I mean, I have a lot of like just with the graduate school I went to in the community. And it's interesting just in terms of all the different cosmological areas that are studied. No, I have brought it up to several of my friends and so on. I mean, I'm not like trying to proselytize to the whole community, because that community, they're not all like necessarily kind of ready for that necessarily. Like for me to like really, yeah, go too far probably with some of what they're willing to consider.
What about like your immediate family, like brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers?
Well, they all know my views, my general views on a lot of these things. And
No,
I've
but
talked to them about it.
have you not been able to flat smack them into waking up?
Well, let's see. My mom, I've told a lot of stuff to, but she's not much of like a debater. So, I mean, but I've shared with her, various things and so on. I mean, I could go through my whole family. I mean, my brother, my older brother, I've definitely debated with him the most of any of my family members. He's the most, because he's an engineer. He's very scientifically, he's like brilliant with things. I mean, you can ask him, just like, all kinds of just engineering things, and he's able just like off the top of his mind, like he knows how so many things like work, and he's very intelligent. So he knows the most about the globe just from default. He's actually pretty decent. Like he actually can debate pretty well, considering the fact that he's not like in these discussions in any way. But yeah, so I've debated with him the most. And I guess if you want to call it flat smacking, if there's any of that may have gone on over the years, it was probably mostly with him. My other brother's like pretty chill about it. He's just like, he's kind of open just to hearing me out a little bit, but he thinks it's a globe. And then, yeah, I mean, I could go through all my other family members, but yeah, I mean, my brother though, the one I'm mentioning, that was the one
The engineer one though, have you managed
with.
to convince him? Is he now on the flat side?
Who?
Your engineer older brother.
No. Although, dude, he's a little more. He's more open to it now than he ever has been. That's for sure. But no, he's a glober, as it were. He defends it, and he thinks, yeah. But he's not shifting his.
I don't know if
he's kind of more open to it.
You've never talked about whether you have a spouse or not, but I was going to ask you, when you found out the Earth was flat, did you do what Nathan Oakley did, which is wake your spouse up at 2 a.m. to tell her that the Earth is flat? You know that story he told the Vice? I don't know if you remember from the Vice video.
Don't go telling everyone you're single now because you'll get too many phone calls.
Yeah. I always thought
Well,
that
it
was
was
just
a
funny.
trend. It was a
That's why,
process.
by the way,
it wasn't just an overnight thing,
that story that Nathan Oakley told is one of the reasons why I think he's a big fraud as far as like uh LARPing as a flat earther. Is like that is just so unrealistic that at like 2 in the morning you're gonna decide the earth is flat, and then you're gonna wake your wife up and go, honey, the earth is flat. Like it was such a phony, obviously just ridiculous story.
Is that, you said Oakley said that? I haven't heard him say that.
Yeah, and go watch the Vice interview. I'm sure it's still online somewhere. You
Oh,
know,
okay. I remember that Vice thing
do
he
you
did.
remember?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's from that.
I think I've seen parts of that, but yeah, I'm not even sure if I've seen I haven't really been following Oakley, in that way. But I do remember that when he did that, and the footage from it. That was a long time ago. What was that, 2016, 17? When was that?
Yeah, it was when the flat Earth was still like kind of gaining traction on YouTube before it was shadow banned.
Yeah. Those are good times, dude. That was so fun.
I just
Going through
remember,
this.
yeah, you used to be able to just type in flat Earth in YouTube and then click the little filter for live, and there used to be all these hangouts going at the same time that you could join.
Oh,
Jake,
yeah.
can I ask you one thing? Jake?
Yep.
Why have you lied to everyone that you have such a low IQ? Because you definitely do not have a low IQ.
That's just what I got tested on as a kid because they tried to figure out why I had such trouble learning.
And you still believe that? Like that lie, that they lied to you about your IQ?
Well, I mean, it's not like I just got tested once, right? I got tested like throughout my childhood with my IEP. IEP is like a improvised educational plan.
But you don't believe that, right? You surely don't. You're just telling everyone that so that they don't come down on you too hard, right? Something like that.
I don't
They
know. I
think
mean, I
they're
made some pretty
chickens,
dumb
right?
decisions in my life that I think a smarter person wouldn't have made. It's hard to believe I would have done better. Wouldn't have done better if my IQ was actually like more normal.
You can be
Dude, I
smart
don't think, if you're talking
and
about like,
stupid.
if IQ is a thing that's like partly genetic, if we're going to go off that kind of idea of it, some people, are athletic, some are not, like all the different variations. If we're going to go off that it's like a genetic thing, it does not seem like you actually do have a low IQ. Now, maybe like if you had ADD, or I don't know if you were on other like Ritalin, or I'm not
Well,
suggesting you were
that
or anything,
wasn't
but
big
I
when
mean,
you and
maybe
I were
they just
growing up,
tested you in
Gio.
a
That
weird,
wasn't.
it tested you in a weird time, or you were going through something weird, because it doesn't seem like you have that like genetic low IQ thing.
They weren't really testing for that when you and I were growing up, Gio. I mean, that's like more of a modern thing.
What, ADD and stuff?
Yeah, it wasn't
Well, how
like
old were you? How
it
old are
was.
you?
You
So
and
you're
I
not
are like
trolling because
you
you
and I
do.
are the same age.
Oh yeah, you were born in 81.
I was born in '80, so we're pretty much the same age.
Yeah, yeah. 81. You were in 80. Yeah, right during the Saturn Pluto conjunction.
It's just that like when we're having conversations with you, Jake, and you've told everyone that you've got a low IQ, but then you come out with all these numbers and it's like you're able to debate with people on high caliber. It's like it kind of makes people have a little bit of distrust in what you're saying. So I wouldn't go around saying you've got an IQ. Go and do another test and confirm that, what we think about you is probably true.
Well, at the beginning, like whether you were trolling or not, but you're saying you actually did get tested. Like you're actually being honest. Like you really did do
When I
it.
was growing up, yeah, they would test me for my IEP.
For your what?
My
Individual
IEP.
educational plan.
Yeah.
And how old are you when you did this IQ test?
The
If
very
you care to
first one
share.
when I was first time evaluated was in second grade, and then they evaluated me again in sixth grade, and then in seventh grade.
Wow.
Remember, IQ tests is a very narrow set of things, and so somebody can be very intelligent along other metrics or very articulate in other things. It sounds like that's what Jake was. I mean, if he didn't score high on this test invented in the 1920s to exclude people of color from Yale, that's not a big deal. That's what the IQ test was functionally made for.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's only a certain like spectrum of intelligence, like pattern recognition and certain form of problem solving, but being able to like retain information, like memory, like yeah, these are all different areas.
Yeah, it was like the Westlacher intelligence. I can't pronounce that, but like Westlacher intelligence test was the one they would give me.
Well, you do ask for a map over and over, just endlessly. Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
it's like
joking
my
with you.
oddhardness.
Oh man, when you go on
I
that,
was
you
I
you
was
were going wild
terrorizing
this
Rakia
morning on that.
today. Yeah.
What? Well, you were
Because
all juiced
Rakia's
up
like
on
all the,
coffee in the
he's like,
morning, or
oh,
what?
we got our maps, we got our sectional maps. They all work fine. All right, stitch them together, make them all work together.
Yeah, but dude, that question is like, since we're kind of in a more chill mode, because I don't really like you were all heated this morning about it, or not all heated, but it was a bit high energy. Dude, the thing is, and I was gonna say that I wanted to kind of say it then, but then I wasn't really able to be at my mic. But just briefly, like the thing with that is, okay, so you have to consider like what you do consider being in this community and so on. We're all just born, in a hospital somewhere, and here we are. We're born into this world. They tell us it's a globe. The whole question of is it not a globe, taking that seriously, is it actually not a globe? Was all of ancient humanity correct? It's a stationary plane, it's a plane of existence, et cetera, et cetera. Then if there's those of us that, and let's say that is the case for this conversation, let's say it is planar and stationary. For those of us in the world in 2015, 16, 2020, et cetera, that would like be talking about it, be aware of it, discussing that, is it true, is it not, et cetera, and all the different facets, it wouldn't make sense that anyone would have a map. Like from that whole perspective that it is actually planar and stationary, it isn't a globe, it would not make any sense that anyone would have a map right now unless they have secret access into the military or some kind of like, high level clearance or something like that, which the level at which they're going to give you the real map of Earth is probably way high up there. Like they're not giving that to just random military dudes and stuff. So even if you were at some clearance, so that, the likelihood that you'd have to be like in their club basically to have that, or you'd have to be, in on it to have that map. Otherwise, you would have to go map the Earth yourself. And literally it would take a whole team of like hundreds of people probably over years, all going all around the world. It would cost millions and millions of dollars. And we could do this. We definitely could do it. But I'm just saying it hasn't been done to this point. It makes sense that it hasn't because somebody would have to independently fund and finance a massive, massive project, So that's why I just don't think that argument's like very strong. Like the idea of why wouldn't we have a map? Like yeah, it just makes sense that nobody would. And just because people like, if those of us that are saying it's planar and stationary are correct, it doesn't mean that we just all of a sudden should also have some multi-million-dollar project of having the exact map. It's just not realistic. Like, yeah, if we're correct about the shape of the Earth, that's that's
So
on
if
its own
nobody's
thing.
got a
Having the
map,
entire correct map is a whole nother
how do all the
adventure.
pilots and mariners in the world right now get around if there's no accurate map? Are they just like
Well, you mentioned
a
the
blind man with
sectionals.
a cane?
You mentioned the sectionals. Maps are in sectionals, and then you have the GPS system, which has really kind of taken over in the modern era. But I mean, yeah, technically, if somebody had a boat and the wherewithal to really want to do it, they may be able to, maybe not enough to like prove it to the whole world, but they might be able to glean some information if that's what you're saying. Like you were saying, what Rakia should go do it in his boat or something. I mean, yeah, I think you were saying that earlier. That was funny. Telling Rakia he should go map the whole Earth with a boat.
Yeah, I got more triggered today talking about the economic stuff with Noah than any flat Earth conversations because I think some of the stuff that he's saying is actually important, more so than flat Earth. Kind of this really extreme side of one or the other, right? Like, I don't know how much you paid attention to that, or were you here today, Gio, when we were talking about that?
Possibly. I think if it with Noah just a couple hours ago, I heard that. But if it was earlier than that, if it was a different combo,
Yeah,
I might
it
have
was
missed it.
like 4 hours ago now, but yeah.
But just before we shift on from it, if just before we shift from it, would you agree that map argument that you're saying, like, would you be willing, like, just in a calm, vibe right now, would you be willing to be like, all right, I kind of agree, like, it wouldn't make sense that anyone would have a map. Like, do you agree with that? Because you keep saying as if like because somebody's saying the Earth is planar and stationary, somehow like you're holding them like they must go map the entire Earth, which is a multi-million-dollar massive project, would take weeks and weeks, if not months, if not years, depending on what kind of equipment you have and so on. To look literally independently map the whole Earth. It's like couldn't you at least agree that that's kind of a non-reasonable or even like irrational request, and then to use it as like some kind of like dangling the carrot over the head, and like with the kind of a little bit the kind of like, slightly attacking vibe where you're like, it's not flat because you guys don't have a map, But do you agree that like it wouldn't be practical that anybody would have a map, even if we're correct about the shape of the Earth?
This was in response to Rakia, who said that we've got flat maps. They're all flat and they're 100% accurate. He's like, they're a grid, they're sectionals and they're 100% accurate. And I'm like, okay, let's even ignore all the spans between the oceans, right? You can easily find grid maps for everything all the way from the tip of Alaska through Canada, all the way going down Central America, South America, all the way to the tip of South America, right? That's all one contiguous continent, right? You can drive almost all of it except for a 60-mile section of the Darien Gap where you need to take a ferry around. But you can drive the rest of that distance, right? Like there's motorcycle clubs that do it every year, like I mentioned earlier. So there's literally no reason why, if those are accurate, you should just be able to throw each section into Google into Photoshop and stitch them all together, and then have an accurate flat map at least for the Americas, right? The contiguous Americas, right? And that would be a start. That would be the start of your flat Earth map, and say, okay, we don't really know the distance between the oceans and stuff, but we do know that these maps are accurate here because he claimed all those sections are 100% accurate, right? So there's no reason why you couldn't do that.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't really go with the one argument you were saying where some people say like, oh, like all maps are flat because that's sort of partly true, partly not, but because they are built into the whole globe coordinate system as well. But that's a complex topic. So what you're saying with that, I hear you. In theory, perhaps somebody could, all the way from the tip of South America all the way up to Alaska, if you were to do a whole bunch of surveying or have a whole bunch of equipment. I hear what you're saying. The other thing about the distances,
all the sectionals are accurate. So those maps, all you'd have to do is just download those maps. I don't even think you'd have to buy them. There's probably places you can find them for free. Just download all those sectionals, which he says are 100% accurate, and that they're all flat. So there's literally no reason why you couldn't just line them all up in Photoshop and stitch them all together like you would a panorama,
All right. Well, I hear you on that, but I guess I wasn't making that argument, so I guess I wouldn't really back that exactly. But what you're saying, that argument necessarily. But if you're rebutting with that, then yeah, that's an interesting kind of thing to try to get to the bottom of. If you were to try to, you're saying physically put the maps out onto and then try to make some panorama shot of it.
I mean, it would be kind of a pain in the. I mean, you could do it physically. It'd be more of a pain in the ass. It'd be a lot easier to just do it in Photoshop, right? You just take the images. Computers now have plenty of memory. It wouldn't be too hard to just have, like a gigapixel, or maybe not a gigapixel, but you know what I mean. Like you could have just a massive image that you stitch everything together on, that you could zoom in and zoom out of. That would be the start of the flat Earth. That you could then, print out at any scale you want, lay it on a flat paper, and then be able to accurately look at any distance between the Americas on the flat map.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting kind of quest to try to do that. It's almost like, yeah, the idea of taking like maps from gas stations all across the country and then try to put them all down onto a huge flat surface, which they would do that. They would go onto a flat surface because they're obviously paper. Although I don't know if they really sell maps at gas stations anymore, but there's probably a few out there. Well, two things. One is that this is getting into the difference between plane surveying and geodetic surveying. And so when we're talking about like what you're talking about, like surveying like all the way from South America to North America, obviously that's sort of more in that category of the geodetic, whereas the plane surveying is, you know, in terms of like grid squares and just plane surveying in general. And it is a huge topic. But another thing I would say is that like when you're driving, that's like a road distance. So when you're driving on a road, and yeah, it is, of course, going to be quite accurate with GPS, and you have odometers in your cars. I mean, that has to be accurate. But I'm just saying, if you have like let's just say you have a massive planar environment or a globe, really. But if you have roads that are going up and down, left and right, all over the place, that's a different distance, obviously, than like the straight land distance. You know, the actual what you're driving, obviously elevation changes and so on. So I'm just saying that's one thing to consider is like if you were just to drive from South America or really anywhere, just driving, I don't know that that's really enough to like get distances that would decipher between a planar Earth or a globe because of the distances that you'd have to travel and then the variation of the road distance versus the actual ground distance, and to be able to actually measure the ground distance and to take like independent elevation profiles as well is a huge project. And you'd have to be able to have access to like a ton of like probably private land, you know, to be able to really do that. So that's the other issue. Like you can drive on a road. Yeah, you can drive here and there and elsewhere, but you can't just start hacking through people's private yards and, you know, private properties and stuff to like really be able to do some of that independently. So I'm just saying that's one thing that is that I think about when you're talking about just driving, you know, that those kind of trips and just checking the distances there. That's a question. Like, is that enough to decipher the shape of the Earth just from road distances? You know, when there could
Well, I
be
mean,
discrepancies in elevation, there could be discrepancies in other distances and the whole kind of geoid and ellipsoid and, you know, et cetera.
Rakia brought up his brother, who I guess is apparently a private pilot. He's like, well, they use flat maps, you know, flat sectional maps, and they get around just fine, right? So, like, you know, you can go in a light general aviation aircraft, and now you're not subject to following a curvy road or, you know, going up and down mountains, right? You can just fly a straight line. There's not a
That's a lot
limitation
harder
there.
than you might think as well, though. Flying in an actual straight line, we've talked about that too. You know, like how easy is it to actually fly in a straight line? You know, so like Dead Reckoning. Because there's all
Sure.
factors of like in airplanes in terms of
Battle of the Beams.
yeah, or how they detect ground speed and direction, and there's just a lot of factors with flying that because we've talked about like even if you had like all the money in the world and you have a private jet and everything and you want to try to do like straight lines like around the world because we've talked about like that could show a lot of things if you can fly in a straight line, you know. So, but it's actually much harder than you might think. But yeah, I mean, if you had the time and energy and you have a private plane, even if it's not a full on jet, but even other types of planes, if is that what you're saying that like you could probably do some decent independent
Sure.
mapping with a lot of flying, maybe
Yeah, why not?
have your own LiDAR system. Yeah.
You know, I, mean, I don't know if you need LiDAR. You can just have a camera on board that takes pictures. You can just use a GoPro.
But let me ask you this, Jake, if there's a team doing this in the future and paying a lot of people money, real money to do all this stuff, would you want to be on that team to do the mapping? So you question the flat earth and you think it's the globe, but would you actually dedicate your time and energy to being on that team to get to the truth?
No, because I don't have any. I would consider it a waste of my time. I would consider it reinventing the recipe for Coke. You know what I mean? Like
What if you're paid
I'm not
$200,000 a
confused
year
about
to
the shape of
be?
the.
What if you're paid 200,000 plus a year to be on a custom team that's doing Earth tests?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would do it for that amount of money, personally.
What
Well, I
do they
just
want you to do, Jake?
What's that?
What would they want you to do?
with the maps?
Be on a team, like Gio said, be on a team to like resurvey the Earth to figure out if it's flat or curved.
Yeah, but you're going to be using these tools that are going to be saying it's curved because, by the way, all these plumb lines are going to be non-parallel, so that's going to kind of screw things up, won't it? And it might
Well,
not
we're
be
talking
viewed as
about
flat.
flying in a plane and like map making, essentially.
Right. Interesting.
Mapping the Earth independently, yeah, without
Right.
like actually doing it.
By flying over it and taking pictures and stitching the pictures all together?
Well, we were talking about a few things. Jake was saying like you could go all the way to the tip of South America, all the way up to the northern part of Canada or Alaska, and he was saying that that's a lot of land, and so he was saying if the Earth is flat, you should be able to like map that or like get at least all that land somehow mapped and show that
Right.
it's flat. He was saying like that's a start kind of idea versus like doing the whole Earth, you know.
Well,
terms of all the
it was
oceans
in
and-
relation. You kind of missed the beginning of the conversation, but it was because Rakia was making the claim that that we do have flat maps, that they're the sectionals from a grid, and
Right.
they always work just fine. His brother is a pilot. They use flat maps, and there's no problem with flat maps. I'm like, okay, great. Well, then you can just take all your grid sectionals, stitch them all together, and you have the start of the flat Earth map.
There you go. Yeah, and of course, Geo, we're going to say, oh, it's just such a small rate of curvature that it's not going to show up in the transposition of a flat map versus the surface, right? That's what we're going to say. Easy, convenient excuse, right?
Well, hey, look, guys. McToon figured it out 25 past the hour. The Earth is a teepee. Way to go, Toon.
Kind of. SC,
Geo, let me ask you a question.
Real quick. SE, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Remember I told you you sound just like a friend of mine who's a brilliant guy out in Florida. He's in Canada, and his best friend's with me right now. And he wanted to hear your voice because we both have the same friend, and he wanted to hear you say something. I told him you were pretty
Check
smart
out
guy.
Toon's picture. Check out Toon's picture.
You're
What's that?
The
breaking
Earth
up.
is a teepee.
Oh, you don't want to listen about the voice thing. Okay.
Looks more like an igloo. It's kind of an igloo.
An igloo. Yeah.
Please, that's a wigwam.
Geo, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Geo, so here's my question, and I don't know my own answer. So, if we could get a jet, a private pilot, whoever, it doesn't matter, and you draw a straight line. I'm just going to say it might not be the right line to draw, but let's say it's from Perth, Australia, across to Patagonia, underneath the globe, where you have to fly over the top of the alleged Antarctic continent to then get to the tip of South America. I don't know the exact flight route, but someone's just run into the back of my car. Wow. Okay,
Oh, no.
I'll be back. I'll be back. Fucking hell.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
I'll be back. No, that's all. I'm just sitting at traffic lights and some idiots run into me. So I'll be back.
All right. Wish you the best with it.
See
Sounds
you soon, guys.
All
See you
right.
soon.
Bummer.
That feeling. Crunch.
He didn't say crocky.
He's probably saying all kind of mess right now.
Well, I think what he was asking though, I was going to say that actually, if you guys know NASA Shill, his name used to be Paid NASA Shill. Well, he claims he was a pilot in the military and so on. And one night we went through a whole. He was putting together kind of a flight path because we were talking about doing the north to south circumnavigation, and it was pretty cool. Well, we did it on here on the live stream, and we went through, we pulled it all up, and he actually put some pretty good like effort into it, like finding airports and looking at the different times. He said if he was to be the pilot, he said he would have to get like a rating, like a higher rating for a jet, because we were talking about like to do the trip all the way over Antarctica would require a jet, likely, and so on. So it was interesting, and yeah, when he pops back in here, we can ask him again about it, because yeah, he put together a whole kind of like an itinerary, and there were several things that looked like we'd have to get like clearance for, and it didn't seem like it would be easy, and it would be quite expensive. And then I think the route that he plotted also went up through Russia, and because of like the Ukraine and everything going on, like that would be, he was saying like the airspace would not be flyable. So then, because that was the route. There's reasons that I guess the other one going up through Africa, there's like a massive amount of ocean. It's like a huge amount of ocean that ends up being like you'd have to almost get like refueled in the air potentially. So yeah, that's why going that route. Because if you have the globe concept, obviously there's like you look at it from different angles. So like whether you go, so he was kind of doing it, yeah, going that way up through Russia and around that way. So I guess he was saying that you'd have to almost go around Russia, because of the flight restrictions there. But yeah, he plotted it all out, and that would be a trip that, as far as we know, no one's ever done that. And it would, if you could make that whole flight that would fit looping all the way, around a ball, it would be strong evidence for that. And it's something that a lot of people say doesn't exist and all that. So it's a big question whether you can do that flight.
Yeah, it would be. Actually, you'd probably be able to do it for. I would think that you would need like a global 7500 or something, global 8000. You'd be able to do it for probably under 100 grand. What does that jet cost to operate? Maybe 10,000 an hour.
Yeah, we
Probably be more
crunched
than
some of the
100.
numbers.
It'd be more than 100 grand.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, we did some of the number crunching, and it depends on.
But it would be less than what Will Duffy spent on TFE.
Maybe not. I guess it depends on what kind of jet you got and all that. Speaking of Duffy, what's he's got a GoFundMe. I looks like he's got like $1,700 raised out of 50,000. So is that to do the documentary? So there's not going to be a documentary unless he gets the funding for that, or what's the story with that?
That's to do a multi-part series instead of a one-part, because people were asking for a multi-part. And so, it costs money to do that. And rather than him fork out more for who knows how much, if people wanted, I think that was his idea, was that if people really wanted it, rather than just asking for it, they could, participate. But if there isn't a demand, I imagine he's probably gonna not do it.
Okay. So originally, by the way, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, nice. Good to see you. But yeah, so I guess just basically, when Jonathan was brought onto it, Jonathan Moran, it seemed like there was for sure going to be some documentary, whether it was going to be, more of a YouTube thing or whether it was going to go to sort of a Netflix thing or anywhere in between. That was what was kind of, and then there's a trailer as well, right? So,
Yeah.
So that's not going to be, there's not going to be a film. It's going to either be this multiple part series
No.
or nothing, or.
So there is definitely an existing version. I was talking to Will a bit ago, and he said there is a version that he had looked at that it was too long for a documentary, like 3 or 3.5 hours or something like that. And not enough to just chop up into a bunch of individuals, but too long for a documentary, so it needs to be cut down. And then, and all this costs money. So if they're like, oh, well, just do it the 3 hours as the director's cut. Well, that still costs money because you still need to do the sound and the, if you're going to have text between scenes or you're going to have a voiceover or, all that needs to be done for anything you're going to release if you want to have it, look decent. But certainly you do it. He's doing it doing it the right way for the official documentary. But I don't know any timelines. I haven't actually talked to him for, it's probably been a month.
Okay, so just if I'm clear on, so there is for sure going to be a documentary, and then in addition there's going to be the series, or is it going to be one or the other?
It's definitely a documentary. I think based on the lack of a response, there probably will not be a series. That's just my guess. And Essie is like the rich preacher ran out of money. He didn't run out of money, but how much money does he want to put into something that's not going to return anything?
Well, it's funny that nobody wants to touch this. I mean, he can sell it to Nova or PBS, or nobody's interested in this.
He can well, I don't know the process of shopping things out, but I think you have to have something made before you can shop it. So the documentary is one thing, and it has a certain amount of money you spend on it to do an hour and a half or 2 hour documentary. But if you're going to do a docu-series of 5 or 10, whatever it is, hour episodes, well, that's a significantly larger amount of money. So how much is whoever, PBS or Netflix or somebody, willing to spend? How much interest do they have in it? I don't know, but you got to figure there's some break even, or if you put a X dollars into it, you're going to get less than X back. So why would you do that?
Right, a series I don't see, but I mean the documentary that's coming out for sure. Or
Yeah,
I missed. I think Gio asked you, but I think I missed that.
As far as I know, that is unless things change, that's an absolute. There will be a single hour and a half to 2 hour, somewhere in there, I suppose. Don't hold me to any time frame, but a significant length documentary.
Okay, looking forward to it to see what it is.
This down direction. Is that his name here? Down there, yeah. Down direction posted a link, and I opened it up, and it's QE's book, a PDF of QE's book.
Yeah, why would you do that, dude? Like, why are you like? Come on, man. Seriously, let the guy make some money.
Oh, do you think Down Direction put it out? I don't know who did.
Yeah, good question. Yeah,
I don't know who Down Direction is. He said he's on Roger Ledwell's YouTube channel as a mod. He's one of the 14 people that ever watch Roger's videos.
Boys, I'm back. Gio, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Can I finish? A quick question. So we draw a line from Australia to Patagonia across Antarctica. Let's say, I'm just going to pick easy numbers. Let's say theoretically on a globe map, globe worldview, there'll be 6 hours or 5 hours of ocean, 5 hours across the Antarctic continent, and 3 hours across more ocean until you get to Patagonia, or 2 hours, whatever it is. If you were on that plane and it flew, you'd have a compass in front of you so you can make sure there's no, directional deviation or anything. So if you took off from Australia, flew across the ocean, flew across the Antarctic continent, and then landed in Patagonia, how would you handle that? That's the way to solve this whole debate. That's like Whitsett and Jaron go to Antarctica, see a 24-hour sun, blah blah blah. Just get on a plane in a 10-hour plane flight. It's resolved one way or the other. That's it. It's game over for both parties.
Wait, what's the route again? From
Australia, I'm saying Perth, but whether it's Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, doesn't matter. A straight line across Antarctica to land Patagonia, Buenos Aires, wherever you need to have just a straight flight across the Antarctic continent, as opposed to hitting a dome, hitting an ice wall, hitting a whatever. So if you fly across ocean, then across land, snow-covered land, you then get to more ocean. You fly across ocean and then you land in Patagonia, or whatever the destination is. Would that not then prove that Antarctica is the southern continent, and you've flown across one coast and then out the other side over the other coast and landed in South America in a 10-hour period or a 9-hour period, whatever would be theoretically impossible on, say, the AE map, where Australia and Patagonia are like a million miles from each other. To me, that it just resolves it. That's the end of the argument for both sides.
Well, not necessarily, because it depends on how it depends on how the Earth is laid out in terms of a planar surface and so on. Because if you have like let's just take the three, the globe, the kind of single pole Gleason's azimuthal equidistant type of projection, and then the ones that have two poles, that have two polar, planar two pole. So if you take those three, I mean, from what you just said there, because if you went from like the west side of Australia directly, over Antarctica over to South America, that would be a straight shot, at least as the globe, has it laid out.
Presents it.
And and so and that would be problematic for a Gleason's layout for the reasons you're saying. Unless there's some kind of like teleporting or some kind of other effect like that.
Yeah, some outrageous anomaly. Yeah.
That flight, if you could verify your direction, your heading, all those factors, and so on. So, I hear you on that. But the thing is, a dual pole, would account for that potentially, depending on how it's laid out. And so on. Because you can have Antarctica as a continent on a planar Earth, maintained as a continent, and the way that like some of those two pole layouts, you have sort of the north, your Russia, Canada, all of that's going towards the North Pole. And then you have in the south, you have your Australia, South America, and Africa that are all kind of pointing towards the North Pole, which, is what we see in terms of the star rotation and so on. So if those are both, if you have two poles on a planar surface, then you have the Arctic and the North Pole, and then the Southern Pole, which would be just like in the North Pole, the idea that it's like you're all looking towards the center of it. If you're in China or if you're in Russia or in America or Canada, you're all kind of looking at each other. Well, if that's the case in the South, which seems to be from everything I have been to the South, but I haven't obviously mapped every part of it myself or anything, but it does seem to be that that's the case. And you have the southern rotation. And so if those are all also pointing to each other, then Antarctica would be a continent on a planar surface, and you would be able to do that flight, and it would not necessarily be exclusive to a globe. So that's the one thing I would say. But if you could do that flight, it would be another problematic thing for the Gleasons or the AE type of layout.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, for all the 10 years, 15 years of arguing backwards and forwards, and we're sending man to the moon and all of this shit, it really would have been a pretty simple way for somebody to at least expel the AE or the Gleason map as, well, that's not it, because here it is. We've done the flight. Now, okay, your dual pole thing, I don't know enough about that to have an intelligent conversation about it. But how does like the equatorial tropical band work on the dual pole thing?
The equatorial region?
Yeah, so if it's a planar surface and it's got a south pole which is frozen and a north pole which is frozen, I'm going to have to look at a representation of that to get my head around it. I won't ask you to explain it to me. I'll look it up and try and wrap my head around it.
Well, yeah, there's like a band in the center. If you have two poles, and they would meet in the middle, like an electric field, like a ferrocell, toroidal field, magnetic field, electric field lines that have that same pattern to them, where you have the two rotations, and then in the flux lines, meet in the middle. So yeah, the equatorial region with that type of, with having two poles.
I'm sorry. I meant more like the continental layout. So where you've currently got Malaysia and Singapore and Northern Africa and the Florida and that sort of, south of Florida, but you've got those equatorial land masses. I'm trying to picture that in my head on a dual pole plane.
One thing I'll say too, just real quick about the Gleason's or AE map, is that another way to falsify it would be to just fly in the south, the distances that have to be so much greater in the south, you know, when it's spread out like that. So that would be another way to you know,
Well,
if you were able
Yeah,
to
that's
decipher that the
that's been
distances are
done.
not spread out like that.
That's been done a lot though. So
yeah,
that's super easy.
yeah. See, I've flown Perth to Johannesburg, and I think I've said on here before, I had a half-hour argument with a guy in America who was telling me, this is me as a flat earther, and he's telling me, no, you didn't fly that route. It's impossible. You couldn't have flown it in 9.5 hours or whatever it was. And I'm just laughing, like I've actually done it, and you're sitting there in America telling me I haven't done it, because in your brain it's impossible. On the map you've got on the desk in front of you, it's like, yeah, those distances, you're right, to fly in one direction there's so much ocean to go over that, yeah, you're right, you just disprove it in no time.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a very difficult thing to hide from humanity as well. Those grand
Yeah,
distances in the south like that. Yeah, that would be like one has to think that they're actually hiding, you know, grand distances in the southern oceans with the AE kind of Gleason's type of idea. I mean, from the perspective that that's not the correct map of Earth, it would just be that there's two false Earth models that we were sold. You know, a false globe and a false flat Earth. Doesn't mean the Earth's not planar and stationary, but it is interesting to think of that. How that could just be another little trap, basically. Just another false model. And they do use it in their, you know, the United Nations and World Health Organization. And the Gleason's map itself has a certain history to it. And it's always linked with flat Earth and the ice wall, and you know, they always kind of it's always linked with the term flat Earth in a way that seems kind of potentially orchestrated, just because there's a lot of media that has it in there.
Oh my gosh, Kiwi's book has the
You gonna read
trigonometry
it?
to figure out the height of a star over flat Earth.
So who wrote this? It's QE and what Adam?
Yeah, it looks like it's Kiwi. Yeah, Kiwi and Adam.
did you pay for this book?
No, Down Direction posted a link to it a little bit ago.
Okay.
There's the screenshot of the first page, and then here's the how you can figure out the height of the star. He actually labeled it height. Height of the star on flat Earth. So QE is requiring that the stars have a certain linear height. Look at that. Amazing. So
Does he have any proof for that?
well, of course not, but no, he is asserting for flat Earth here that there is a certain height of stars. He labeled it on the diagram as height.
Well, I see that diagram. It is his argument that these things are at a particular height, though, or is he
Well, if
just
you're
saying that that's the part of the triangle of your elevation?
well, if you're doing trig, then you get the one side and two angles. You now can solve the entire triangle. So
Yeah, they're all related.
yep. And so if there is a known distance between the observer and the GP, and you know the angle at yourself because you just measured it, and you know the angle at the GP, which is 90, then you can solve the triangle, and that will output the height of the star. The end. You now know the height of the star above flat Earth, and you can test to see if the height of the star matches reality. Awesome. And then test whether or not the hypothesis matches reality. Easy.
Well, I don't know his position fully, but wouldn't he? I mean, I doubt he claims that they are at any height, though. Does he? Does he say,
Well,
"Hey,
it's
these
right.
stars are at X"? Because
Well,
the trigonometry isn't it like an optical?
I'll just post the diagram again. It says height. So yes, he's claiming there's a height. It's in the diagram.
But is he saying it's like
talking-
a physical, tangible height, like the star is like an object at X distance? Or is he just saying that when you take angles and you do the trigonometry to those lights in the sky, as it were, that you can calculate it?
Well,
Like I'm just
is
asking.
there-
I don't know what
is
his
there-
exact take is.
Is there an actual physical distance from the observer to the GP?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the ground?
Then,
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that triangle, all sides of that triangle have actual physical distances. That's how triangles work.
Right, but you could have like these objects could not be like tangible physical things with a coordinate. They could be observations that we can see, take angles to, measure ground distances and angles to them. But
QE disagrees with you
tangible positions.
Because his diagram assigns it a position. Because you can't do the trig if it doesn't have an actual location. That's the point of the trig. It's got a location. You can't you draw the triangle. The observer occupies a position in three-dimensional space. The GP occupies a position in three-dimensional space. The object occupies a position in three-dimensional space. And they have a relationship with each other in distance and angles. And that's what that triangle is showing.
Okay. No, I mean, I hear you. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really speaking for him at all, whatever his argument may be. You're saying he's saying that? I guess that he did make that diagram, it looks like.
It's
Either way.
in his book.
Yeah. But like, what if you were
Must
doing
be
that
true,
to like
then.
a rainbow? If you were trying to triangulate a rainbow, it could get a bit tricky, even though you could calculate it and you could measure a ground distance and you could do trig on a rainbow, but it doesn't mean you're like necessarily triangulating a rainbow.
It certainly could. The rainbow is reflecting off of droplets, so you could pick an individual location where those droplets are.
Possibly, but the fact that I just brought up
not at all, not possibly, absolutely, because we know the angle that the light reflects and refracts within the droplets. And we know the elevation of say the top of a band of color, right? Just the top of the arc of the rainbow. So we can measure that angle from the ground, and then based on the position of the sun, because the sun enters the droplet at a certain angle and exits the droplet at a certain angle. So we can know the relationship between where we are and where the sun is.
Yeah, I was just saying possibly because
the top of the band.
No, I hear you. I mean, the thing is, the celestials, we can't access them. Like, we can't go touch them. Whereas a rainbow, you could like go up there with a drone, or you could maybe take a balloon or whatever to go up near a rainbow. So yeah, I mean, I hear you. Technically, like there's drops of water in the atmosphere that we can tangibly reach and get to. So then in theory, you could triangulate if you could figure out like which exact raindrops are actually doing the rainbow effect and so on. But rainbows are strange. Like they don't change angular size with distance change in the same way that physical objects do, the same way that's talked about with the celestials. No, so it is interesting.
You only see the rainbow that is the light exiting droplets that is hitting your eyes. And so when you move to a different location, it is different droplets in different angles that you're looking at. So it's not that it doesn't change angular size. It's that when you change position, you don't see the version of the rainbow that you saw before.
Yeah, so that's what the stars could be. The celestials could be that you see a different. You're seeing a different refracted. You're seeing a different refracted position. Okay, well, I'm not asserting that because I haven't been to the sky to touch it.
That's just what ifism, right?
Well, you're saying that that's not what ifism because rainbows already do that. So if the celestials also do that,
rainbows have a very specific optics and geometry that we can apply. So that's not what ifism. That's empirically verified. So what is empirically verified about how stars work that matches whatever QE or U or whoever else is saying? Right? Did you see the I think Veritasium video on rainbows? That was a pretty cool video. He did a great job with showing how the light bounces inside of the droplets.
nice.
If you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
go watch it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just making the relation that you were talking about with the rainbow, how it can appear in different positions because you get different water droplets that are creating this kind of almost hologram type effect where you're kind of seeing this like 3D representation, but people from different angles are seeing like different versions of it. So I was just saying it is possible that, I mean, basically everything with the sky is a level of what if, unless like someone's claiming to be an astronaut and go out there and like touch a moon rock. I guess they're making that claim. But anyone who's just on Earth looking at the sky, we're limited. You know, it's really not something we can necessarily empirically validate, you know, to a level that we can of physical things. But I was just saying, just that basic concept is of the rainbow and the way it doesn't change angular size and the way that you can see like different refracted positions of it depending on what position you're at. And I was just saying, like, if the stars function like that to where they're not actually in like a tangible physical location, but that when you move, you're seeing a different portion of the sky. I'm just saying it could have that similar effect the way rainbows do.
Well, and QE, his diagram doesn't agree with that, at least, because his diagram is assigning it a position. But that's why it's funny. Oh my goodness, the Rayleigh criterion. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he tried to connect the Rayleigh criterion to the distance to the horizon because they both have 1.22. Oh, the poor guy. He's like mentally handicapped there, like a little child eating crayons because that has the same number. They're the same thing. Bless him. Without, yeah. If you change the units, the numbers change. Never mind that, people.
Hey, this is just a small thing, but you know how you said that you brought a magnetic dip compass to Antarctica? Was it the case that it broke and you weren't able to get any readings with it? Because we were talking all about magnetic fields and at the poles and all these things the other day, a while ago. So is that the correct story, or that's what happened? You're saying is that it broke and then you weren't able to use it at all, or?
I used it in Punta Arenas, but then on the flight to Antarctica, it got beat up. So when I pulled it out, instead of it like moving around and having a, pointing at an angle to the ground, it had bent the axle, and so it just went straight vertical because the axle was bent. So no matter where I put it now, it's just straight vertical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it got bent.
That's too bad. That would have been cool to see the results of that.
Yeah, that I was sad about. And then I brought, and I just wasn't prepared to use. I hadn't tested it or anything, but I brought that that MEMS compass, or not compass, magnetometer. That's just a little, like, basically a Raspberry Pi, a mini Raspberry Pi. Is an Atom processor, actually. And it has direction on it, but I needed to like mount it to something and bring a level so that I could you know, orient it, and then measure. I can measure the dip of or the direction of the magnetic field with that, but I just didn't. I didn't prepare it ahead of time, so I'm kicking myself for that.
Yeah.
But I
mean,
did get the magnetic field strength in Antarctica.
with the different device, or
No, with the magnetometer.
oh, with that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
Is this what Rusted Soul has been asking you about? She wants to your documentation of this.
I sent her the pictures. Then she didn't do anything with it or didn't say anything again, so I assume she accepts them all as accurate. Okay, so like here is Punta Arenas. Here is green shot in Antarctica. Here's all the readings in Antarctica, and then you can't quite see the screen, so I zoomed in on this one here. And so you can see the screen a little better there. It was really hard to read because it's so bright. So I was like shading my the screen using my own shadow so that I could read it.
Did you have another camera taking a picture of you taking that picture?
Yeah, I had 17 cameras in total, which probably isn't enough. It's going to need 18, I'm sure. No, I just had, I think just one. I think just my action cam was recording it. So that video then I've published on my Conspiracy Tunes channel was one of the the multi-day videos that I published back a year to the day of when it happened, and in all of those videos I include a link to go download all the original videos straight off the camera on my Dropbox account. So I've not heard any flat earthers feedback on having downloaded and watched the source videos for authenticity. So I assume they thought they were authentic.
Wait, these are the videos of you writing down those numbers, or are you saying your body cam footage, or?
So yeah, so I posted back in December in 2025 on the 1 year anniversary of when I recorded it in Antarctica. I posted the full, like all of the body cam footage I took of the day. So on December 14, 2025, I posted the whole body cam footage from December 14 of 2024. And the description of all those videos has a link to Dropbox where you can download the raw videos.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, everybody that's like, oh, send me the footage and all that. Like, I had posted some of it earlier, but I got I specifically purchased a hosting through Crystal Hosting to upload the videos. So like, oh, you have unlimited disk space. I'm like, cool. So I started uploading, and they said, you can't upload that. You've used too much disk space. I'm like, what are you talking about? The contract says unlimited disk space. They're like, oh no, not for hosting videos. I'm like, oh, well then cancel. So
yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, we'll go to archive.org, and I got a few uploaded there, but then that broke down. So in the end, I tediously copy pasted all of the links from Dropbox into a web page on my web server, so people can go download them individually. They're big files, but they come from Dropbox, so they download fast.
So, Toon, I believe you claim that, correct me if I'm wrong, that you have an uninterrupted 24-hour film of the sun. Is that correct?
Indeed.
Did you post it anywhere?
Yep.
Can you post it here? Is it
Yeah, hold
possible?
on. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I just looks like Witsit did a stream with Iro Landucci on his channel earlier, going over all the moon stuff. You know Iro Landucci, right, Essie?
Yep.
Yeah. He's very good with a lot of the space stuff, and so this I just saw that Witsit was live earlier, and I just clicked on it real quick, and I saw Iro in there, so that's cool. I don't know when the last time they've done a live stream together. It's for the
I
Artemis
haven't
thing.
heard from him in years, so that's
Yeah.
good to see that he's back. Yeah, I like Iru.
Yeah. Looks like this whole stream is just Witsit and Iru, so 3.5 hours.
All right, Essie, I'll tag you in this.
All right, thanks.
There's
Funny how
there's the 360 video. So that's YouTube only lets you post 12-hour videos. So and it's more than 24 hours. So I split it into 3 separate videos. And I
All right.
think
It's funny, you're the only one. A bunch of flat earthers went there. Well, 3 flat earthers, how many ballers? But you're the only one that managed to get this 24-hour film, right?
Dave McKeegan did, and Will Duffy did. So three different people have posted different 24-hour videos.
They did as well. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the 360. Like you can just sit there and watch it for hours and hours. It's pretty dry, but you can see like there's the halfway point. There's like this shed thing that we stayed in, and they you can see at one point they fold it up, and then they have their big tractor-y thing go and pull it away, or they pull off the bathrooms. I think they leave the shed until later, but they pull the bathrooms back to camp because when they bring people out to the runway, there's no bathroom out at the runway, and it takes multiple trips to go out there. So people are out at the runway for, half an hour to an hour. So they bring a bathroom out there so that people can go to the bathroom at the runway. So I'll give you the one that's there's both a sundial, which is a short, is that?
Careful now, because I'm gonna get queue up to go over every second of this, right, and look for blue screens and stuff like that. So I warn you.
The blue sky and the people wearing blue coats. It will be. It can't be blue screen.
Yeah, QApp needs 500 followers before he'll address anything. By the way.
Yeah, I was trying to help him out, but he's a little sad. Okay, so there's the 24-hour sundial where it's pointing at the shadow and showing that the shadow length is matching the predictions. And then the second one there is the what does the sun do in Antarctica? So that follows the sun. So all of those videos I posted are with the same 360 camera. The first 3 that I posted are the full 24-hour, longer than 24-hour 360 video that you can just move around in your browser. And then the other 2 are in the Insta360 Studio. You can have it follow something, or you can have like the viewport move. So I just have the viewport move and follow the shadow or follow the sun in those 2. And I think I gave there's a link to the source you can download, but if I'll verify.
Yeah, not cool. Whoever posted the QE's book, not cool, man. Like, why would you do that? Like, at least buy it, you know? Like, why?
Wait,
Yeah,
who are you
What's
talking
gonna
about?
Down Direction posted the link a little bit ago. And Down Direction was saying he's one of Roger's 14 fans. Roger Ledwell.
Oh,
Well, I did delete it. It doesn't seem quite right to be pirating, it. So, yeah, just to be cover that, I did delete it. So, I mean,
Yeah, good move.
it's respectful
That's
not to,
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of low, man. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I would do that for anyone. It has nothing to do with who it is. But I mean, if somebody just released a book in the community and people are gonna do that anyways. Though we know that. I mean, it's gonna be pirated, sent around. It's gonna happen anyways. But yeah, it doesn't seem right to just be doing that though.
No, good move, Gio. Cheers. Yeah, that, I
You
mean
know what I
that.
found peculiar is that it said it's fiction. I thought that was odd.
I think that's appropriate. That sounds about right.
What is it sold on? Is it Amazon or what's it? Is it
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the
on
Kindle.
Kindle or
I
what?
think it's the Kindle. I think so, yeah.
What's it called? I'm gonna type it in Amazon. Welcome to Flat Earth. It's called.
Geo, I'm not sure exactly, but that sounds like the title that I probably saw in the book. Yeah.
I just found it here. $29.99 on Amazon. Oh, it's $10 on Kindle. What if the Earth is not a spinning globe? We've been told it is. So, yeah, it is on Amazon. It has one review so far.
I have a question. Actually, two questions. McToon, the last time we spoke, I was telling you about how I will be working on a presentation in regards to how nonsensical the moon landings are. And I'm not going to do as a debate, because I don't do formal debates ever since I was, 16 or something. Are you still willing to do that? I'll do it on your channel.
So sorry, I say that again. I was a little
Are you
distracted.
still willing to have a discussion presentation with me about the moon landings? Not a debate, just presentations.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I wasn't going to do it.
Okay. I didn't know. I'm sorry. You're Andrew. So I was.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember who you were.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
We had talked a while ago, and then
Yep.
you were kind of busy and stuff.
It's been a few months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
tried to connect you guys over text, I think, for a little bit.
Yeah. I don't do formal debates again, like I said, because of a multitude of reasons. But I will be presenting my information, and it's going to be.
Lose every 1 year in.
Say what? Okay, I'll just continue. So if you're still willing to do that, I'm still working on everything. So I want to make sure it looks good. Information is verified. Nothing is really debatable. It's like, here's the information, and now prove me wrong. Well, that would turn into more of a formal debate. However, I have a question for you. Do you think this Artemis stuff is 100% accurate and legitimate?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's where. Oh, yeah. I'm not really sure about that one. No, you just went down a couple of pegs. Oops.
What do you think's not legitimate about it? Andrew, what is there a couple of like three things that you really think like stand out as being, you know what, that
How
was
about this? Okay, cool. CGI.
all of it or just some things?
A lot of it.
So some of it's not CGI?
The stuff that I've seen looks like CGI, and it's just rinse and repeat. That's what's the problem.
So did you go to the source every time, or did you go to a third or fourth generation?
What do you mean the source of who recorded it with their cell phone?
Well, it's not a cell phone, but no, people are like, here's a video from, well, some are with the cell phone. Here's a video of a cell phone pointed at a screen of CNN. Like that's not how you do forensic analysis of a video. To do forensic analysis of video, you go to the original video. So that wouldn't be a cell phone pointed at a TV screen of CNN rebroadcasting something. You'd go to the actual source video. So I've seen, that's why I'm saying that flat earthers especially on Facebook, they're reposting that stuff constantly. Like you're terrible at forensic.
I didn't mention anything about flat Earth. I was just asking a very general question about.
No, I was reporting on what I've seen as flat earthers have been doing on Facebook as an example for Artemis responses.
All right. Well, I don't use Facebook. I don't use social. I don't use Instagram. I don't use Twitter.
I don't care about whether I use it. I'm just saying flat earthers in response to Artemis have almost never gone to the source video or photos. They've gone to second or third or fourth generation versions of the media.
That's not
You
true.
got the main
I was
source.
personally following Artemis 1, and I've posted like dozens of accurate live stuff. So in my case, that's not true.
Unless you've been posting on Facebook this last week, you weren't part of that crew.
Not this one. I was talking about the first one. This one to me is a complete joke. Like after I saw the live footage and it was on the solar panel, I don't even bother. It's a joke. But the first one, I was on it like white on rice.
And this is the thing that's going to happen. McToon, Mike, right? Do you mind if I just Mike?
What? Well, if you call me flat earthers, self-identify by calling me the wrong name. So if you consistently call me the wrong name, then I know that you're a flat earther.
That's what the M stood for.
MC. Does anybody call MC Hammer Mick Hammer?
No, never heard it.
Never heard it. Right? That guy that does the hammer pants. They don't call him Mick Hammer.
Fine, I'll just call you Toon from now on. How about that one?
Oh,
okay.
Now you're going to confuse me, and I won't. Then I won't know that you're a flat earther automatically.
Did I say that? Anyways, before
I'm just
I do, it's okay. You can toss me shit all you want. I have very thick skin. Anyways.
So if they make chitlins out of you, there's going to be a lot of eating.
A lot of eating?
A lot of eating.
Oh, you're gonna.
You know what chitlins are?
Yeah, it's like it's food, but I think it's something to do with like.
It's deep fried pig skin.
Oh, okay.
That's crackling, man.
So now you're making
crackling. No.
Now you're talking shit.
Right. Wait, hold on. Chitlins. I'm right on this. Hold on. I gotta check. Chitlins. I've never had it.
Piggly Wiggly has got a sale on chitlins like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Oh, chitlins are cooked pig intestines. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
You're thinking about crackling. Look up crackling.
Right.
There. I've had neither, so I don't live in the South.
Neither do I.
Oh, dude, I feel for y'all. I really do.
When it comes time,
crackling.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be like, dare I say, in law where they have discovery. I'm gonna give you every single thing I have beforehand, and then I will present it to you. And I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of time, but every single thing I'm going to be doing is on my own. It's going to be very unique and different from other aspects of the moon landing. Well, the moon landing hoax, because there's no fucking way anyone went to the moon. And this entire thing as well with the Artemis. I'm not going to be discussing that at all. I've been seeing a lot of people also discussing that. It's hard to discern what is real and what isn't real, but it seems to be very apparent to me that there are a whole bunch of they're just getting lazy and sloppy using CGI, AI, and different types of augmented realities and stuff like that. And they mess up, they can't stop messing up. And as soon as you find just a couple of mistakes, say, well, if they didn't have to lie about it, then why did they lie about it? That's the answer. I'm going to be bringing this up. Okay, it's going to be kind of detailed. I'm going to be probably doing at least a 1-hour presentation. And you can interrupt me at any point. And you can also... I've seen a lot of your debates, okay? So don't worry about that. And I'm going to be presenting this. We can do it live on your channel if you want.
Okay. Let me give you an example of a photo that was faked by flat earthers that's going around on Facebook. This is flat earthers that created this, and then they're posting it as if it's real. They're claiming it's real and saying, "OMG, look at what was faked," and then blaming NASA for the fakery. But it's flat earthers that made the fakery. It's super easy to tell that it's fake too.
That's I was gonna say it's funny. Now I'm not saying it's funny. If somebody's passing it off as real, I'm not supporting any of that or whatever it is.
There's hundreds of people reposting this as if it's real. This is deceiving people. So somebody, I don't know if they intentionally created this one or not, but people are reposting it and deceiving people.
Okay.
So anybody that doesn't support deceiving people should not be supporting it, saying that's real. Look at that. Oh my. Right.
Isn't that part of the problem that we have nowadays? Is it's hard to discern the difference between reality, AI, CGI, augmented reality?
There are challenges. That one's super easy to tell that it's fake.
How did you determine it was fake?
The guy's knees are cut off. The lights are behind the scene. There's no lights actually pointing inside the area that's supposed to be, that looks like it's lit.
The lady has 3 feet.
The black guy, it's supposed to be Victor, has double hand and his thumb is ridiculously long. The lady is not Christina. She looks maybe Asian.
Yeah, it doesn't look like her either. Yeah.
No, I would agree. I'm not saying that you're wrong about it.
The screen that all of them are showing isn't even remotely related to the screen that would be showing. So all of this is super easy to identify that is fake. And flat earthers are like, that's really how they're doing it in the studio on Facebook. And so the challenge is one, you're right, Andrew, that it's difficult to tell some of these things. Easy. But the bigger problem is people don't check provenance. Where did this photo come from? Who took the photo? Did NASA post this photo? Did somebody else get it? Did some whistleblower post it? No, nobody checks. It's like, oh, this supports my pre-selected conclusion. I accept it 100%. That's the mindset. And I'm not saying it's just one group of people. Everybody is susceptible to this.
Well, I call everything bullshit at the beginning until it can be proven to me as being real.
That's not a legitimate epistemology either.
Well, nowadays it is. Before, I would say it's real until someone says it's fake. So my mentality has switched. Sorry, but I'm just calling everything, because nowadays in the modern day of technology, which we are, I could take a picture of myself at the beach, just a single photo, and then from there put it into some, I'm not even sure how many AI things there are now, and say, now that using that picture, show me juggling on the beach with moving waves.
Yeah, but there are ways to identify these things, and
I know.
some of them are easy. Some of them it takes a little more skill in understanding it, and in the particular field. So you to analyze a photo and determine whether or not it's real isn't something that somebody that really doesn't have any depth in that field can say definitively. You'd want to have a forensic expert that has the depth in that.
The things that I've noticed as of lately when it comes to the whole AI thing. And AI's been around for a long time. People are just not aware of it quite as well as others. When
How
it comes
long has it been
into
around?
Since like World War One and Two.
No, it hasn't.
What are relays then?
They're not AI. What are you talking
It's
about?
not.
A relay?
There's
Electromechanical relay?
interaction of something that doesn't require humans to do it. It's a relay. It's just, you know what a relay is. You're an engineer.
Yeah, it's an electrical mechanical switch.
Yeah, so it's doing something without human
Yeah, that's not AI. That's not what people mean when they say AI.
Well, we're getting into a disagreement, I suppose. But when it comes to other people that I've listened to, Ben Goertzel as an example, Ray Kurzweil, and other people, that's kind of what they were saying. I was like, oh, I never thought about that. There's artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence, and then people say that we're kind of in the stage artificial AGI at the moment, where it's like being self-taught, such as in chess and in video games and in the just different board games and whatnot. Anyways, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, it's very difficult for people to determine what is actually going to be AI and what isn't, unless whoever creates that image looks at it very closely and then gives it a prompt to correct. One of the things that I've noticed is that eyes and hands are the number one thing that AI fucks up on.
Yeah, hands are an early tell.
Yes. They've been using this in politics. They've been using it in fake NASA and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's getting creepy, but I was just asking two simple questions. And if you were still willing to accept me to do a presentation, I could do it here. You can multi-stream it. I don't really care. And then from there,
I prefer Zoom because you have better control of what you present.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Wait, Zoom? Oh no, it was Skype that got taken away.
Yes, Skype. Well, Skype got rolled into Microsoft's Teams and all that crap. Yeah.
Yeah, I use that for class. But when it comes to everything else, I'm just asking some general questions, and I'm astonished how people really think that this Artemis thing is 100% legitimate. Not even like, but if you said that was like it's 99% legitimate, I would respect that a lot more. But when you say just 100%, that's when I start to lose respect for people. It's like, I don't know what to say at that point. You just believe it because you were told it.
Oh, not at all. I analyzed it critically. But so Friday, I'm hosting a debate between Rasa. If you guys know Rasa, who's been on Modern Day Debate a few times, he's a Apollo moon landing denier. And Roger, a guy named Roger. And Rasa says, so he does not deny Artemis. He's not a flat earther. He does not deny Artemis. But he thinks that he is a radiation expert and has claimed that the astronauts in Artemis will die. And that before they launched, he very boldly claimed that they would come back completely dead. They'd just be corpses. So
Van
anyway,
Allen radiation belts or the exposure of relatively deep space.
well, he doesn't actually know the topic very well. So it's kind of funny. I debated him on Modern Day Debate a few months ago, and he's like, the radiation on the moon. I'm like, well, what radiation? And he couldn't name the radiation. I said, what particles? Neutrons? Like, oh my goodness, no. Neutrons have a half-life that wouldn't survive that distance. He just had no clue at all, but he's passing himself off as an expert in radiation. So he's kind of funny guy. He's basically Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Anyway, so we're having that debate, and then the splashdown happens. We're going to try to time it so the splashdown happens about when the debate's done, and then after that, we're going to bring on Jara White, who's another one of the Apollo detectives, they call themselves, and then an open panel. So that'll be a crazy night.
And that's going to be where?
My channel, McToon Live.
But here on Discord?
Nope, YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'm not subbed to either one. I don't have a whole lot of YouTube subscriptions anymore. Yeah, Discord even I cut half of those away. I'll check it out. So before I even do this, if it's a waste of my time after this question, then I'm not going to continue with it.
Okay.
Is there anything that I could say or present to you that would convince you that the moon landings may not have happened?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What level of evidence will be required?
You would need to show well, all right. I don't want to make it like the super easy answer is, you need to have name all the people that did it and name this and identify that, and right. I'll not say that. That's a high bar.
I'm not asking you to create my presentation for me.
No.
I am.
It would need to be something credible. So
Okay.
for example, if it's like, oh well, this technology existed, therefore that's definitely what they used. No, just because something exists doesn't mean that was what was employed. You need to play, connect them together to show that they did happen. So, as an example, for the modern one here, there's 4 gondolas that are part of the Artemis launch system. That if there's any problems on the rocket, right, you got tons of explosive underneath you. So if there's any issues, people can jump in the gondolas and then go down a big cable to safety. And part of the plan for it was to not have the gondolas be next to the tower when Artemis launches, because that's a lot of fire and it'll ruin the gondolas. So they automatically released as the rocket launched. Right, so
I'm just talking about the Apollo mission.
That's how they escaped.
That's
how they escaped the rocket.
Just an example.
He just showed us how they escaped the rocket.
So, yes, those things exist. They're like, oh, they exist, and they released when Artemis launched, and then here's the disconnect. Therefore, they definitely were in them. Well, no, you would need evidence that they were in them, video of it, or video of them on the ground, or pictures on the ground, or people saying I was there, or something other than this thing existed, therefore that's how it happened. Just as an example, I know it's not Apollo relevant.
I understand. But I did see part of the Witsit stream earlier when Eero came on. And Eero's been gone for, I don't know, 3 years or something. He's just doing his whole Spanish thing down in South America. Anyways, Eero somewhat took over the stream and was showing a whole bunch of problems with
That's
the
garbage,
whole.
bro.
Wow,
I
I'm
like how he
sorry.
breezes. I like how he
I
breezes
was
past the
fucking
fact
talking.
that they escaped on the gondolas.
Go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry.
He was showing a bunch of evidence that I've never heard of before. I don't really care so much because I don't believe it. Because once you catch a liar, you can't believe him very much after that. And that is NASA. I'm done for now.
I'd like
They escaped on the
to say
gondolas.
something. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Andrew, so what's it? I asked him in a super chat for his source. And do you know the source he gave me
No
for
clue.
any of the videos?
No.
He didn't give me a source. All he said was they were memes, bro.
Manuscripts.
Why couldn't I get a source? Don't you find that peculiar?
Well, if I heard it, then I would definitely be questioning him as to why. But for the time being, I don't know. It's just hearsay for the moment. I didn't hear the entire live stream. I joined in late and left early because I was driving.
He just showed a bunch of what about. I won't even say the whataboutism, but it was just like, well, it could be shown that this could be made in AI, right? But it's like, why not address any of the floaty shit that's happening in the purported NASA live streams, right? Why not address anything that was shown besides like shadows they couldn't explain because of compression? Like, it's just boring and stupid as fuck. You know?
Okay. I would agree with
That's all
you,
I'm saying.
except I don't know about it. I'm not even sure what was being discussed. So
Okay.
here's the last thing I'm going to say for the moment, and I will be embarrassing the living shit out of someone. What is his name? He texted me. I'm sorry, messaged me, and it was messages. Deplorable. .ilk says I'm not an electrician.
Well, you're
So
not an electrician. I like Deplorable. He's a friend of mine, but
no, he's a fucking moron. I am an electrician, and I will invite anyone that has electrical
you don't have
engineering
an
degrees.
you don't have an electrical engineering background. You just have, right?
How about this? I'm an electrician. I teach in an electrical trade school. I've been an electrician for 25 years. I have a background in electronics. And no, I'm not a certified EE. So no.
Right.
But I'm going to embarrass the living shit out of him because we've been going back and forth, and that's going to be
All
happening.
right,
That'll be the
enough
only debate.
grandstanding. Enough grandstanding. Let's see it.
Well, he's not here right now.
No, he doesn't have anything. But he's not an electrical engineer.
I
he doesn't
fucking
have
just said
any
that.
degree.
Dude, I
Okay,
kind of like
yeah.
Icy
That's
Spin.
all.
He's kind of like a pretty level-headed glober, honestly.
Yeah, but like all Deplorable ILK was saying to you is that you're not an electrician, like certified, right?
I will do it with
Which is the truth.
blindfold on and a camera looking at my screen so you know I'm not cheating. And another camera looking in the opposite direction so you know no one else is in the fucking room.
But what's your point?
Sir, yes, sir.
What do you?
This is getting
mean-
stupid. See? This is how I'm going to embarrass people.
That's
Yeah, embarrass him.
neither here nor there.
I want to see someone get embarrassed by Andy, bro.
It's gonna get
I mean,
wrecked.
I'm happy to show you that.
When is that actually? Yo, can you film that? Can I see that? When is that happening again?
I don't know. Whenever he comes on, he's in the UK apparently. I challenged him tonight. He's like, "Oh, but I'm in the UK."
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah.
getting up pretty
Fucking
soon.
coward
Like,
little
I'm
Look at
bitch.
this,
sure he'll
Andy.
jump on.
Yeah, I like this. I like this, Andy. Yeah.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see me filming the launch? Like, do you guys disagree that the launch happened? I'm kind of jumping in.
Dude, they escaped on the fucking gondola. Like, I don't think it can't get more better than that,
the
bro.
escape hatch.
Like,
Okay.
2026 is like good. It's turning out to be the best conspiracy year of my life. Not like
So
best lifestyle wise, but conspiracy theory like wise. Oh my god, this year is just, dude. They started us out with the Epstein files.
Well,
Like
how
we're
would
still
you
in the
justify that,
appetizer
Noah?
stage. We're still in the
You
appetizer stage, and they faked the moon landing this badly. Like, I don't know what they're ending the year out with, bro. But I honestly,
They
bro,
didn't
like
land on the moon,
bravo.
though.
Like you venerated us.
But
So you
bro,
were there
like
and you
no,
saw him get on the
Correct,
escape thing?
yeah,
correct. They never landed on the moon.
they never purported to land on the moon. Number one, number two, what
They have
evidence do
claimed
you
to
have
do
that
that.
they escaped in a hatch? Like what evidence? Like that's absurd, right? Like what evidence do you have? Go ahead.
Dude, that's the best thing I've ever heard. Escaping in like a gondola as the rocket takes off. Like
Yeah,
that's
where's the
the
video?
greatest thing ever. That's the greatest thing ever.
Well, I'm
It
guessing he was
sounds
there and
fun.
saw him do it.
You haven't seen the video? Dude, it's
No,
like
I haven't
literally
seen
like
the
the
video.
gondolas are like going like they're like detaching and like going down a line. And the rocket's like launching right after. Like pretty much it's like,
Yeah, and
yo,
you
this
have
is
like
like
what like
these guys are like
1,000
mission
people
impossible. You
took
know
this
what?
video?
They honestly, they're just as much of a hero as if they actually went to space for going out in that gondola like that. That is mission impossible shit, bro.
You know
Like
what's
those
insane is
that
like
was that
you actually
DYI
believe it?
team, that DYI team, honestly, I'm a DYI supporter after seeing that because that was a great production, bro.
Bro, where the fuck is your evidence, Noah? Quit talking shit.
You call them DYI.
Yeah, DYI.
Mean DEI.
Same
So
shit.
there's there's 100 videos of independent accounts of people escaping on gondolas. Are you fucking insane? Like, listen to yourself, bro. Get a grip.
I saw it too, Spin. I saw it too. It was on Men in Black 3. Remember whenever they put the thing on top of the rocket and then took off in the gondola?
Yeah, what the fuck is
Bro,
wrong
they
with
did
you,
it. They
Noah?
did
Get
it
a
in.
grip,
They
bro.
did it in. They did it in Transformers too. In Transformers, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, the Autobots blew up in the spaceship," and then the Autobots are like,
is
"We
your
snuck
outlet,
off."
bro.
It's like, bro, this is
your
great,
like get a
dude. I
fucking
can't
grip.
believe they bubbled and
Hold your
spaced
tongue,
us.
bro.
I can't believe the landscape of the moon was like worse than the landscape of Skyrim.
All right.
Like that was
This guy's a,
bravo to you guys for making
Noah,
the
you're
landscape
officially
of
a
the
troll.
moon. I could have made a better landscape of the
officially
moon.
You're kind of low,
troll.
I
Spin.
could have made a better landscape of the moon than those guys.
Dude, it's
Quit being a
triggered.
fucking troll, bro. Like seriously, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Then we have this
You're just
weird fake personality shill.
absolute garbage, bro. Can you hear me better still?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah, okay. Noah, fucking show your evidence or shut the fuck up. How about that? Where's your fucking
Dude,
evidence, bro?
I know you've seen the video of the gondola. I know you've seen
Show
it.
it.
You've had to
Show more
seen it.
than one account, you fucking clown. Show more than one account.
You didn't see the gondola? Like you didn't see the gondola?
Quit being a
escape?
bitch.
It was
Yo, quit being
Okay,
a bitch.
hold
Show
up.
me more than
Just
one
hold up.
account. Yeah, thank you.
Hold up.
Spin, does he know?
Gondola.
No, he has no
Here,
idea.
I got
Okay. I'll let you break the news.
Okay, bro, there's like a short. It looks like there's a short of the launch. Let me see if the gondola is in this one.
I mean, you were saying it like you saw them get on it, like you were there or
Wait,
something. Though. That's why I was
I'm looking
like,
at
what?
the gondola right there. Dude, the gondola's right there.
Yeah. Do you see the people?
Okay, this is it. 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 Okay, hold up. I'm sending it. This is actually fire. This is actually fire. It's like a YouTube short. I got that. Here you go, bro. Here's the gondola. Here's the fucking gondola. This is the greatest thing I've ever. Bro, someone's spamming the chat, so you can't be seen here. I got you again.
Let's go.
And they even say "let's go." There's even like a chick that says "let's go" at the end. Booster ignition and liftoff.
Wait, are you presenting? Like, what the fuck are we looking at, bro?
Cool.
Where are we looking?
I don't know.
It's
So
a
do you
shot
have-
of it's the gondola. Go look at
Right.
it. Literally shows the gondola escaping at the end. Like
Yeah,
it's great.
So now the next step is to show that they were on it.
Well, they didn't go to space.
Well, so you've said that.
Oh,
Because of the
conclusion
evidence
first. Oh my
Yeah, you
goodness.
can't start with a conclusion. You need to show that they were on it. So how did you document that they were on it?
Because how else would they have escaped and not went to the blistering depths of space?
You've pre-concluded that they escaped. You need to show that they escaped before you conclude they escaped.
No, this is
That's the order
us.
wrong.
This is us learning how they do it now. We always
No,
thought like how did they
This is
how
affirming
did they
the
fake?
consequent.
We've
This
always
is stock.
thought how did they
This is
fake it?
absolute stock
And now we know
first.
how they faked it this time. They used the gondola. Last
No,
time I don't know
is
how they did
affirming
it.
the consequent.
But
Here,
this time we know what it was.
I'll grab the affirming the consequent definition.
Listen,
that
Noah.
posted here.
Yeah, Noah, you've had better arguments than this. This is by far your worst, bro. Like,
No,
just-
here's what it is. Here's what it is. We've caught them faking it on the moon. We've caught them faking it in the ISS. And now we've always thought, like, how did they actually like get in it and the rocket lifts off, but then they don't go to space and they're faking it in a green screen in Hollywood? We've always wondered, like, how did they actually transport the human from the rocket to the ground before the rocket left Earth and then like went into the ocean? And now we know. They use a fucking gondola. Like, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Why would they bring out the astronaut just before liftoff?
Yeah, in
What's
the
the
words of the great Witsit, cool story, bro. Where the fuck is your evidence, Noah? Like, get a fucking
The
grip,
gondola
bro.
is the evidence. That's how they escape.
No, the evidence would be showing people getting on it. That's what you
Or
need.
the gondola with people
Wait,
on
wait,
it
wait.
as it's going away.
If they faked going to space because it was a CGI moon and it was bubbles in space, and they never went to space, how did the astronauts get off of the rocket? Well, they used the gondola as it took off, bro. Like, that's genius.
Begging the question is what that's called there.
No. Us knowing they didn't go to space because of bubbles and because of CGI planets and shit, that's evidence. And then so now we're like, how did they do this? How did they perform this magic trick? How did they
bubbles and
perform
CGI
this
were
magic
also
trick?
begging the question.
How did they perform this magic trick? How did they get the guys off the rocket if they're not going to space and the guys are acting? And we just realized they went off on a gondola,
minute.
bro. Think about that.
Yeah.
Let that sink in, guys.
Why? Hang on. So they put them in the rocket, and just before liftoff, you claim they used the gondola to get out of there. Why? Why did they have to do that?
Because no one goes to space, so they have to
How
get
do you
off
know?
before it goes into space.
Your evidence for people not going to
Because
space is what?
we've caught them faking it on every single mission yet.
No, you haven't. You think you have?
We've literally caught them on every single mission. Every single one, every single time.
So
do you think? Do you believe that the ISS is actually up there? Just a quick question. Do you think the ISS is up there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So why can't I have people in it?
I don't know. That's something that they're not revealing to any of us. I actually.
So you don't know, therefore. You don't know, therefore there can't be people in the ISS. What a stupid argument.
No. I don't know.
That's why it's begging the question.
I don't know. No. I don't know why they don't have people up there. I just know that they don't have people up there because they're.
How do you know they don't have people up there? What's your evidence?
It's simply because right.
What's your evidence?
It's because it can't be true, Stefan.
Is that they're faking it?
I know.
If they were actually
because if that happens, and if there's people, if there's people or satellites or anything like that, it ruins the basis of his claim.
Stop funny muting me. If they were actually up there, they wouldn't have to fake it. That's my evidence.
And your evidence for them faking it is what?
But you don't have evidence that they faked it.
So if you went to a war and you fought in the war, wouldn't you just film the war as it happens instead of going back and reenacting and filming the reenactment?
I streamed the entire thing. They live streamed all the telemetry data. There was multiple cameras that you could watch the entire live stream from. You can stitch them all together. You can watch the Earth slowly grow smaller in the background. You can watch the moon slowly grow larger. You can see angles that you can check the geometry on of stars and planets in the background. There's so much that you were given, but you just want to cope and
No,
say
it
that
never
they
gets there, bro.
Yeah. So there was so much that we were given that we got to see bubbles in space and we got to see CGI moons. That's how. That's
I
there's
can't take you
so much.
seriously, bro.
There was
I
so
just
much
can't take you
evidence.
seriously,
There was
Noah.
so much
Come on,
evidence
bro.
of fakery and bubbles in space and CGI moons that it was like, yo, I can't believe they released this much fake footage. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
dude,
was
you gotta
expecting
get
him in here to actually show that to McToon if he's still around. I don't know. I just want to know what the
Yeah, he
official
is.
answer is.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
And
waiting
why
for the
is it a
evidence.
CGI moon? Because it didn't look like you expected it to?
Well, I think Noah just brought up the bubbles thing. Just because, yeah, I actually curated this stuff myself, like these videos I just posted, because I was like, what the hell is this? Like, can I get a good explanation? The best explanation I heard so far is that it's piss.
That's the same thing they told me. Yo, 2026 is just year of the truther. It's great. The MAGAs got exposed.
So I'm gonna use
the Pizza
I'm
Gates
gonna
got
use the same
exposed.
I'm gonna
Artemis
use the
got
same logic
exposed.
that you used for the gondola thing to say that what really happened. So they got off of the spaceship to get on the gondola to leave, but what you didn't know is there was a secret door on the gondola, and they went in the secret door and got back in the shuttle and went to space. How about
Yeah,
that theory?
but if they went to space, they wouldn't have faked it.
They didn't fake it, dude. They're faking it. Whoa, dude.
Bubbles are pretty fake, and CGI moons are pretty
Yeah.
fake.
Hey, Steel City, have you looked at my videos there? What are these bubbles here? I posted 3 separate videos. One from CBS, one from like Hindustan Times, and then another one from the NASA live stream itself. They all have the same kind of footage, but
did you verify that they're bubbles?
I don't know what they are. I'm just calling them bubbles.
They're going in all different directions.
Just,
Those aren't bubbles.
Yeah, they're just specks of something.
What are
Just
they?
call them specks. They're just specks.
Specks of what?
Yeah. So typically things like this are either off of the engines, and it's a condensed solid or liquid. The liquid condenses. So if it's liquid oxygen, it condenses into solid. And then when they use the rockets, then they scatter. This is all easily understood. It's been years that people have asked this and talked about this and explained it, but people don't do their own research. I guess.
No, I do my own research, and I haven't heard an official explanation. Where do they talk about that?
Yeah. If you did do your own research, you would have run across it.
So are you talking about this video where it looks like dust or something is like flying by?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bubbles would escape to the surface, right? Like they would go up.
Correct.
You don't know the angle of the camera.
Right.
Like,
up could be to the right.
Yeah, how do you know up is not to the right? Exactly.
All bubbles would go
But they would move in the same direction, though, wouldn't they?
No.
Not if there's
bubbles.
turbulence in the water.
If there's
Sorry.
movement in the water.
If there's
Think about what you're saying, guys.
if there's a giant semi-sized piece of steel moving through a dark pool, the bubbles
That
are
is
going to disperse
absurd.
it. Really? The bubble?
It's absurd. Do you know how buoyancy works?
Absolutely.
It's just as absurd.
Ridiculous.
It's just as absurd as
this is
as a place with
but
no gravity or no air.
To embarrass
But
flat earthers.
There are,
yeah,
well,
so
there is gravity.
We know where they train. We know this tank that they're in. We know that there's semi-truck sized pieces of steel moving through water, and that caused a lot of
No,
turbulence.
they're not moving. They're stationary.
Turbulence.
How are you not embarrassed? Look at what
hang on. Could you show us how they move? Could you show us how they move those objects in the pool on the water?
In the pool, how do you
I'm
know
gonna tag
it's
you right
real?
now. I'm gonna tag you right now, bro.
Let
Okay,
Stefan
maybe it's not
finish.
Theo.
Hold
Maybe
on a
it's not Theo.
second. Noah, 1
Let me
second.
tag you.
Stefan, hold on a second.
Where's
Stefan,
the
finish.
videos?
Quiet, Noah.
Here, I
1
got
second.
you.
Go ahead,
I'm about
Stefan.
to tag you, bro.
Yeah, I would like him to show us a video where they move these large
Tagging you right now.
objects they
Tagging
have
you right
in the
now.
pools, where the astronauts are submerged in water and they move the whole fucking thing. Can you show us that?
There you go. I just tagged you. It's already been shown.
So
No, they actually have
you
that,
have
Stefan. The
you have the
underwater buoyancy
original.
facilities, like where they train and stuff. But that,
See how the thing is moving, which would cause turbulence in the water around it? Dumb fuck.
I watched that one video, but it looks like it's like a screen recording of a plane. Do you happen to have like the original
Wait a second,
video?
Steele. Really cool video that you tagged Stefan in there, Noah, where the bubbles aren't going the fucking same direction. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, it's called turbulence in water. Turbulence in water causes
That's
bubbles to
fucking
move in different
ridiculous.
directions. That's not ridiculous. It's anything you would experience it if you blew bubbles in a pool and kicked with your feet
Excuse
in the
me.
water and caused turbulence.
You think that this is in a pool? How do you have
So
turbulence
you're
in a
done.
pool?
You have nothing to contend,
Excuse me. How do you have turbulence in a pool?
let alone the CGI moon.
Yeah, I pretend that you don't listen to me. How do you have turbulence in a pool?
okay. You can have turbulence in the pool, but I don't think that's really the main
How?
point, though. What do you mean, how, dude?
There's
Yeah,
You ever heard of
how?
But you
filtration
can have
systems?
wave pools.
If it's in a pool and they're faking it, why does the thing have to be steel?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say the
well, it doesn't
filtration
have to be.
system?
It could be
Have you
something
never
else.
been
I would
in like
assume
an
that I just
actual
assumed that it
pool?
was steel.
What do you mean a natural pool? What are you
An
talking about,
actual
dude?
pool.
Yeah, I've been in an actual pool, and you better hope there's a filtration system.
Oh yeah, it is, but it doesn't move the water like it's required for this
Doesn't
silly
move the
question.
water.
Has to move the water, otherwise it becomes stale. We
Come
talk
on, bro. Yeah.
If you would stop like floundering before I finish my sentence, you would understand the point, right? So what I told you is that the pool filtration system, it doesn't shoot the water back into the pool like it's a fucking cutting jet. It just pushes
Actually,
it back a little bit. It doesn't give you turbulence in the pool. That's the point.
actually, they do have jets all around
There's
around the
jets,
pool.
dude. What are you talking about?
All right,
That's how
listen.
It
that's how it
doesn't.
mixes.
Oh my
That's how it
fucking
mixes
god!
the
It doesn't
chlorine.
shoot the water back into the pool like it's
Yes,
coming
it
out of a
does.
gun.
What are you
No, it
talking
doesn't.
about?
All right.
Liar.
Well, can we not argue about a
Geo,
fucking pool?
I'm
Gio,
guessing
where are
you've
you at
never
on this
been to an
bullshit?
American pool before.
Yes, I've swum. I swam an Olympic swimming pool, 50 meters.
Yeah, and if
I know exactly what pools do.
and if you go around the freaking pool, you'll see the little jets that shoot the water back in.
Yes, and the water in the middle, when you're in the middle lane, it doesn't move. It doesn't
doesn't
have
move.
the required tides that you need for this to be true.
Yeah, but you didn't even know where's it at in the pool. So why are you
Oh
saying?
well, he did claim that he knew where it was at, and it's the
Yeah,
So they did it in the pool, and the moon
pool.
is CGI.
Okay.
All right.
And the Earth isn't even the right
Okay,
size,
so
too.
you're just conceding. None of you can contend with the argument, so you're just giving up. It's okay.
Listen, I
So
thought
that would mean that no, but hang on. If it was due to turbulence in the water, the bubbles should move like in a squiggly way, shouldn't they?
They should still be escaping to the surface. They should be squiggling
Yes,
to the
they should.
surface. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, you don't know which way the surface is if it is in a pool.
Oh well, we
You don't know which
definitely
way the
know that
turbulence-
this is
you don't know
not
which way the
bubbles.
turbulence nor the surface is.
The reason that we know this isn't bubbles is because we can't tell which way the surface is.
Okay. Besides that, I
What
just
is
kind
it
of want to
that-
run.
Turbulence, sir. Turbulence, sir.
I just kind of want
Turbulence,
to
my
run.
good sir. Now, please
So
prove
turbulence,
that
if
this
there's-
shit wouldn't
if-
evaporate
hang
in the
on.
vacuum. Please prove this
Can
shit
I-
wouldn't evaporate in the
All right,
vacuum.
guys.
Thank you.
No.
So if there was turbulence in the water, how would
Bring
the
me the
bubbles
bring me
move?
the gas pressure equation
hang
for
on.
this thing
Hang on.
evaporating.
I'd like.
How would
You are just screaming over each other.
Yeah, please.
yeah? If there was turbulence in the water, how would the bubbles move?
Okay.
They would be moving a bit this way and a bit that way while they're going towards the surface. Yes.
We can't make an actual determination, all right, about which way it's going, etc. That's fine.
No,
I'll
no,
see.
that's not my
Hold on,
point.
hold on.
If there was
All right.
turbulence in the water, which means
God.
the water is moving in different directions at different points,
Dude,
then if those were bubbles, they would move like sideways,
Wasn't you just
wiggling
fighting that
sideways,
somebody cut you off earlier?
You kind of are
would
moving
move
sideways.
towards the surface.
Okay, all right. I don't have much time. I just kind of wanted to run this by McToon to see his thoughts real quick, to see like what's the explanation for certain things.
MC Tune, by the way.
No, don't correct him. Then I'll get confused.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Okay, whatever. Sorry.
I saw
MC
you
Tune.
cheering for Witsit today.
Yeah, it's
He
great.
was
Okay.
in there. That was
So
cute.
Yeah, he
McToon,
was in the chat. Yeah.
I want to know about this thing that's supposed to track the rocket at launch called Narrow, or at NASA Arrow. It's just AR.
Yeah, ARO. Yeah.
Is that a ground-based antenna, or is that in the air, like with an airplane tracking it? Like, what is the actual position of that?
I think the website is just taking their telemetry data and then updating it. So
check out
how
my
it's
video.
fed, I don't know.
Well, right here, there's an actual. It's actually tracking it, like with the camera.
Wait, where did you post it?
I'm streaming it so you can see it.
Oh, hold on.
Beasticles, Astronomy Live tracked it from the ground. It's over.
Okay, so how is I'm watching your stream now. So
Yeah. So like right in the beginning when it first launched, I got a couple questions to understand. Like, first of all, what is this that they separated? Not that, but this. Do you see how there's
The
like
boosters.
different lights here? Like, what are these
The
lights?
boosters and the fairing.
So all
No,
of
there's like
those different things that are falling there.
Oh, that's what that name says, Beasticle.
Or
Yes.
Biastically,
Yeah,
whatever
it's
works.
kind of hard. Yeah, so
It's
I
it's
don't
for
know
a
what
very
part of
split
the-
second. Yeah, that's all they show of it. But yeah.
So yeah, there's the solid rocket boosters on the side.
Right, I saw that
and they fall off, and there's extra hardware and stuff that comes with it that are going to disconnect.
I remember from the live stream when we watched it live, what they eject at that second stage, that is like a metal plates, like a fairing protecting the more
Yeah, they do
sensitive
that right
equipment.
here. But then they do this right here. I don't know what this is.
That circular thing there, that's looks like it's staging. Oh, that one. No, that's the maybe the escape.
The escape hatch, the ball.
So on the top of it, if there's a problem, it's got that little rod that sticks up at the top. It's got 4 little rockets on it. And if there's a problem, like if the rocket blows up, that will launch and bring the capsule with it to escape
For
from
the astronauts.
To keep the astronauts safe.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then you have this right here. So it's tracking. You have this plume. You got, I think this is what Anchovy was telling me. He was saying that there's a certain focus limit. It's like the maximum zoom or something, or focus that you can have on a camera. It's like infinite focus or something. I can't remember what he said. Something like that.
So you set, if you have manual focus, you can set the camera to focus on infinity. So that's just basically at one end of the focal length, the focal range. So the P1000 has it. You just crank if you put on manual focus, and you crank the little barrel around the lens to one side, it'll go to infinity.
Right.
And if you crank it the other direction, it'll focus as near as possible. So when you're manually focusing, and if you don't focus correctly, then the thing that you want to look at will go out of focus.
Okay. And then do you know or does anyone know exactly what they're tracking the rocket with in terms of like that camera? Right here?
Like how they're tracking it?
It says N arrow.
On screen there? On the right?
I think it's just narrow, which means like not wide, but
that's
like narrow
focus, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have iris. So I don't know if it's this is what they're tracking it with.
That's probably also information about the photography. So iris is similar to, it's maybe this another term for aperture.
Okay, so we don't know necessarily what is actually tracking the rocket, because
Well,
that was shown on NASA live the live stream and on.
Do you mean
everything else.
what is causing the camera to aim in a certain direction?
No, like what is actually tracking it and where it's located, and I'll tell you why I want to know because of what comes up here. All right, so now we also have a visualization when it comes up here. There's another thing that looks hilarious. It's about to show it. Yeah, see this right here, this part. So now what is this? This is supposed to be the second stage separation, right here.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that in?
So what's all that crap floating around?
Yeah, but I'm saying, how is that in the? Like, what am I looking at here? Like, why are they? Yeah, what's all that crap floating around?
Well, all that crap would be, like I said before, it's when they that could be from pre-chilling the engine. So they flow the liquid oxygen and whatever the fuel is. In this case, it's hydrogen through the system, and that outputs then, like, they'll just let it flow out.
Okay.
And then it solidifies, and that's what you're seeing there is just chunks of solid
little
liquid and
pieces of ice
hydrogen.
or something.
Probably oxygen, because the hydrogen doesn't do that generally.
Okay. No, you can't
So
see it here in the C-SPAN.
It's frozen oxygen.
Frozen oxygen. Got it. You can't see it right here because the C-SPAN logo is covering it. But when it showed this like little visualization, it's obviously just showing the telemetry, right? It's going to 11,000 miles per hour right now, just so you know.
Okay.
And then this is where I want to know why, or I wanted to know what the hell was tracking the rocket because of this next shot right here. It's coming up. Right here.
It looks like that camera's on a plane.
Yeah, that camera's
Either
on
on a plane or a mountain.
There's no mountains in Florida.
Right. That's what I was thinking because of Astronomy
Yeah, so
Live. You're saying there's no mountains.
Yeah, they track it from planes.
Okay,
And
so it's going
that,
11,000 miles per hour.
That front stage was the part that was separating just a
So
little bit ago that you were wondering. They were showing it in the visualization. It's just the tip of the rocket, which is will get them to the moon and back.
Just the tip.
So what are we looking at right there that's going below the cloud layer?
It's the plane.
No.
Is that the
I'm saying,
part
what's
that's
it
separated?
tracking?
Oh, that might not be the
What the
capsule.
hell
That
is
might be
that?
something falling.
That's what I mean. Is it the part that disconnected? Like, is that the part falling back to Earth?
It could be a fairing piece or a.
It's hard to say because that's a really crappy view.
That's what we
the
get,
fairing,
bro.
The fairing at that point had already disconnected, I think.
Speaking of Astronomy Live, I don't know if you know this, but he tracked the whole thing with his telescope from the ground after it launched and it was in orbit. I mean, he has
Yeah,
a
and
video.
he's not the only one. There are several several amateurs who's done that.
I know.
This is a cool thing that Astronomy Live does. So, NASA or SpaceX or whoever else, they publish their flight plan ahead of time in an ephemeris. So he goes and grabs the ephemeris, which is just a bunch of time and location and direction data, and then he has some software that he wrote in Python that controls the motor on the telescope. So he puts the location where the telescope's going to be sitting, and then the telescope knows which way to aim it so that it can point where the rocket is. But it never goes perfectly. There's always a little variation. So then he has a joystick that you can use to fine-tune the position. So if you watch the footage that either Rhetoric, because he uses the same software, or Astronomy Live posts. It's using Astronomy Live software that's tracking the location of the rocket based on the pre-published ephemeris, plus manual tweaks using the joystick. It's really cool.
I'm watching it. Trying to figure out. Is he? Oh, is he tracking it? Is there timestamps? No.
He made a time lapse, I think, of it. Move it.
I see his values there on the bottom left. I'm just trying to figure out, like, is there a time lapse of, which each shot? Because it looks like he has to pan and stuff.
This is the same type of stuff. He's using the published ephemeris and pointing his telescope where it says it'll be. Now you can't identify details. You just see, a white
You're
dot.
tracking it. Well, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is that even possible for a certain amount of time? It's going around the globe.
It's really high up.
Doesn't matter.
What's the challenge, you think?
I'm just saying, how is he tracking it the whole time? It's going 11,000 miles per hour. It should be going out of his field of view pretty quickly, right?
But it's very far away. So
Yeah,
even at that speed, you're still
It was
within.
a short amount of time too.
Yeah,
He's also
here's
going around the globe, though, right?
As an example, let's say that the horizon to horizon view at that elevation is 5,500
What?
miles.
I was going to say, okay, yeah.
Right,
okay.
and it's going 11,000 miles an hour. So that would be this is not
30
the right
minutes it should
numbers,
be out
but
of
that
view.
it'd be 30
Right.
minutes from horizon to horizon. So you can do the basic math and say, all right, well, what is the actual horizon to horizon at that elevation on a globe? And it's actually not a ridiculously fast amount of time that it will be going through.
Yeah, technically. I mean, because the ISS, 90 minutes, one orbit?
Yeah.
And that's going,
Yeah, and-
17,500 miles per hour?
Yeah. And the ISS is closer than Artemis was for most of
It's a
Artemis'
low
orbit. Yeah.
Well, not the initial launch.
So-
It was only like 110 to 200 miles up before it started to leave and go on its path.
They did their
little slingshot around. That's what I'm saying. They went around the globe for the first part.
So
And it was-
the question is simple. Like, what is the explanation for even this tracking data?
What do you mean? Rockets
Well,
exist. Dude.
How is this possible, bro? Space isn't
Rockets
real.
exist. No
Yeah,
one
so
says,
it's
who
a
says
it's a
rockets don't
control-
exist in here?
But it's a control remote rocket because weren't we discussing that they left the rocket before the launch?
I don't think Beasticles is saying that. He's not as nuts as Noah.
It doesn't matter if it's remote controlled or not. Rockets exist. You know what I mean? It's not the
Yeah, I think you could use the stars. Hang on, I think you could use the stars as well as to figure out what the distance is.
Isn't that weird though that there's no star footage though? Like the entire. I'm so disappointed. I was expecting
there
a
is.
lot more stars.
Did you see the one where you see the aurora and the sun is behind the Earth? People
The
has
one that was posted afterwards, the one that's not on the live stream. Yeah.
and people saw Venus and mentioned quite a few stars that they was able to see in that photo.
Dude, it's 2026. Why can't they just get a camera dedicated to the stars? They actually had an
What-
optical
They got
navigation
the
device
James
on
Webb
Apollo.
and they got the Hubble. So why the hell would they care about taking images of the stars from the Artemis too?
Why wouldn't you, dude? What are you talking about, dude?
Why would we? I mean,
I would love to see that. Why wouldn't we want to see that? That makes no sense. That's a stupid argument.
as I said, at least in one of the images, you can see some of the stars due to the
In the live
exposure of the
stream?
camera.
Yeah, hold
No, I'm not talking
video
about
of
still.
stars.
Taken by the.
Hold on. back it up. He's asking for video of stars. Video of stars.
Well, he's asking for videos of stars. Well,
yeah, videos of stars doesn't work for photography. They're not bright enough.
What?
Yeah, they're not.
You
bright
need to have a
enough.
longer exposure to get the light for an actual picture.
Okay, so have a longer exposure. What's the issue?
You can't have long
do longer exposure
video.
with video. There's no such thing as longer exposure video. That doesn't.
Yeah, but
happen.
you're patently wrong because you ever heard of the HDR cameras that came out a few years ago?
Yeah, there's 28 HDR cameras on board.
Yeah, there's Canon HDR cameras, video cameras.
Yeah, let's see.
Video doesn't take long
Nikon.
exposure.
It's not about long exposure,
There you go.
retard. You know what an HDR camera is?
Oh,
You don't need long exposure.
Yes, you
That's
do.
how-
Listen to me
that's
one
how
second. A
HDR
video.
works. Oh my gosh.
A video is regularly 30 frames per second. To get a good picture of stars, you need 5 or 10-second exposure so that you actually get the light from them.
No, you have HDR, bro.
Explain
know
what
what
is
HDR is.
What does that mean?
It combines the dynamic range from the darks, the blacks,
what is dynamic
and the
range?
whites. You
How's it
get
do that?
an overexposed image and an underexposed image, and you combine them.
Which is
That's
still
not
long
video.
To make a normal image?
That's not
Still
video.
need
Hold on.
the
Yeah,
underexposed,
they have. You guys gonna keep
video.
saying no? They don't have. We have the technology for HDR video, dude. It's no longer HDR
Okay,
just photography.
awesome.
You have
Show-
HDR video, bro.
This is easy.
They have the
This is
money.
easy.
They have the technology available. There's no excuse.
Video, dumbass.
Okay,
Super
okay.
easy.
So,
Show us video of an HDR camera doing stars on the Earth.
the funny thing is that HDR, a quick search tells you, is a format that delivers superior picture quality by increasing the range between the brightest and the darkest area of a screen.
Actually, I think
Noah.
Noah.
It's just
I
higher
think Noah was going to
contrast,
present.
so it's not
Yeah.
long exposure. So
Noah, go ahead and present the HDR images from Earth that Toon was asking about.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
The HDR video of stars.
Yeah, okay, but the thing is, right? I'm not Noah. I'm lying,
lying.
right? We're talking about from space.
Lying for Zion.
We're talking about from space, right?
You can do it from
not
the
from
ground
Earth.
too. You can do it from the ground too. So show us the HDR video of stars from the ground.
The thing is, it would be easier to be done from space because it's all dark up there compared to the Earth where you have light pollution, right? So it's even worse for you guys.
There are locations on the Earth that don't have light
I would
pollution.
like everybody to
By the
see
way,
the
Lion-
live chat. I've posted a video of what Mr. Toon is asking for in the live chat. Thank you very much.
Lion is a person that believes that the 24-hour sun happened and that there's no explanation for how it could be outside of due south. Right, Lion?
Why are you deflecting, dude? Will you at least concede that
I'm
we have
just saying, bro.
HDR videography that exists?
Yeah, but dummy
Listen to how
HDR.
retarded it
Stop
is.
deflecting. Now you're
stick
talking
to
about the
the
20.
same
We're not talking about the
Let's
24-hour
not
sun, dumb
deflect.
fuck. We're talking about HDR videography. Stop deflecting.
I've
He
posted the
posted-
video in the chat. Can we get a concession, please?
You posted a
HDR is
computer.
MC
Hold on. He posted. This is
MC
hilarious.
Toon, I posted the video.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
You have a problem with the video?
Yeah,
Well,
it's computer
first of all,
generated.
it's a 10-hour video.
This is not. It's not a real
Computer
video.
generated. Oh my
What
god.
a dumbass.
CGI, bro.
Yeah.
He got
Well, you asked for
Come on,
the video.
Rob.
CGI.
Let me just
Wait,
read
no.
you. Let me just
You're
read
better
you.
than that, Rob.
How embarrassing! How
It's
embarrassing!
10
Hold
hours.
on, well, guys. Let's
I gave you
let
exactly
Rob.
what you asked
Rob,
for.
explain yourself.
No,
Rob, explain yourself.
No,
We're gonna be quiet for a
asked-
moment.
I can give a fuck about the
I'm out,
lights
dude.
in
I'm
the sky.
backing out.
I'll
I'm
clarify
leaving.
what I
Rob,
asked for.
Hilarious.
I'll clarify
explain
what I
yourself.
asked for. Hold on.
I
No,
gave you
I see.
exactly what you asked for.
No,
so
you
let's
didn't.
do that.
Let Toon ask for it. Go ahead.
I will
need some order
I
in
will
here, please.
I'll state
Order
again
in the
what I
court.
asked for. Show me a video, the HDR video taken with an HDR video camera of stars. This is what you posted, a computer generated video with the label HDR on it. It's not HDR camera
embarrassing,
of
bro.
stars. How embarrassing.
It's even grosser
Yeah,
than
except
that. This is
you
just
guys
a,
must be the
this
ones
is
that are
just a,
embarrassed because I'm
it's
not
a,
embarrassed. I can give a fuck about the lights in the
dude,
sky.
this
I'm
is
just
just
trying
a
to get
demo.
you what you asked for. So
Dummy,
fuck you.
dummy, this is just a demo for OLED screens to showcase their capabilities. This is garbage.
It's hilarious. It's not taken with a camera. There's no camera involved.
10 hours long. How am I supposed to watch this?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought was 10 hours. I'm like, he expects us
Oh
to
my
comment on
gosh.
a video he just posted that's 10 hours long?
He's like,
Of-
in your
of
face,
CGI
McToon!
clouds, bro.
And it's CGI. Oh my gosh.
I did not say in your face, Mr. Two.
That was the implication.
You were demanding a
provided what
concession.
you asked for, you
did
fucking
not.
asshole.
You did not provide what I asked for at all.
But
I asked for a video taken with the HDR camera that was imagined to exist.
Oh yeah, and that can also do long exposure video because
Then
that's
maybe I misunderstood you, dickhead.
Certainly you
Well,
did.
right-
And that's a
right
common
here-
problem you
How
have.
dare you?
I think
Yeah.
this is. Listen, I think this is a time
Mr.
lapse.
Dickhead to you.
To be fair, I think this is a time lapse. But
It is a time
right
lapse,
here,
too.
right here, there's a satellite with the Southern Lights using a Nikon Z9. Right on the Artemis, that's exactly what they used. A Nikon Z9, a mirrorless camera for high resolution scientific and technical imagery.
Yeah. They have those on the inside.
And you have the GoPro Hero 4 Black that was supposed to be externally on the outside, right?
Yeah. Yep. Those are not HDR.
None of those cameras do long exposure video. You
GoPro
can't do
Hero,
long
what?
exposure video.
Or
It's actually the opposite. Like video is 30 frames per second at least, and the long exposure is just 1 frame for 10 seconds. It's the exact opposite.
So the GoPro Hero 4 is a
doesn't
model
have it.
from 12 years ago. So that's why the outside camera views are a little not great, because
But I
they're using
mean-
these 12-year-old cameras on the outside. And that's
I've
part of the
heard
that's
that
part of the
argument.
challenge. That's part of the challenge of government agencies, and why I'm not a big fan of NASA, because they're so slow at doing things that the
I'm glad you
technology,
said that.
by the time they get around to using it, right, when they're like, oh cool, it's 2014, well, let's slap this GoPro on here. But here we are 12 years later. Why didn't they put the newer GoPro on it? Because it's a government agency with all sorts of bureaucracy that would have taken 2 years of approvals to upgrade the camera, and that would then be 2 years old.
All right, so check this out. Taking stunning night sky videos with a GoPro Hero 4. Looks like you can video stars. with
That's
a
not
GoPro
real
Hero
time.
4.
It's not long exposure.
Oh, look at the timing on that.
Yeah, obviously it's sped
See
up.
what they're doing? It is long exposure.
Let's see here.
But then
Editing,
it's not like it's not shooting a video. They just took a bunch
There we
of long exposure
Pictures and put them
pictures
together.
and then created the video. But I've heard from an expert like Mikey Smith that is not a video.
It's not.
It's
a
not.
time
So
lapse. Still though, we're able to
So
get
a time
stars
lapse is
in
not
real
a video?
time.
Oh, it's 2:30. I gotta go to bed.
A time lapse
Is that
is not a
20
video.
seconds exposure?
It said 20 seconds.
Yeah, long exposure. So basically,
Yeah.
it's like a time lapse, and
So
not
it
like a
takes
video.
three pictures per minute, and then just puts all those pictures together so it looks like a
So it
video,
looks
but
like
it's actually
yeah.
Yeah, like
Correct.
stacking.
You can do that by hand. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not
So
really
last
a
thing,
problem.
last thing before you go to bed, there should be a time delay when it comes to radio communications, right?
Yep.
What was the time delay?
It depends how far they are from the moon, of course.
48,000 miles or something. The one I'm going to bring up.
Is it like 2.5
48,000
second round trip? Something like that?
I think it was about a minute and a half. Or a second and a half. Sorry.
Right here.
Yo, Calder fam, what's up, bro?
So,
one way.
So, this is my question. How come these two react immediately after the question was asked?
Well, they would need to
I
hear
was
the
actually
question,
just
though,
talking
didn't
to
they?
my crewmates about that today. I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and I was saying I haven't seen as many as I thought I would. So read.
Are
Then
you
he goes
Are
like
you
this.
McToon's daddy in
Then
chat?
he goes like this. Look, he's like signaling to this guy because this guy's a new guy. He doesn't know the game yet.
Many
This
as I
guy is
thought
basically like, shut your mouth.
I
He
would.
doesn't
So read.
see.
Night Tune, I'm out of
Many
here.
as I thought I
Fun.
would.
See
So
that?
He's
There's
one of
one.
the chosen to
we have so much
be on a
illumination
live
from the sun on the moon and the earth
on
right
a
now.
moon
It is hard at times to see stars. Just like when you walk out in the daytime, you see a blue
Shut up.
sky but no stars. We look outside and we see the black space and no stars. But
Yo, Max is the
tonight we're
worst,
going to be
dog.
pointed into deep space and we're
shut
going
up.
to turn out all the lights in the spacecraft for the first time on the mission. And if you give yourself about 20 or 30 minutes, we do this all the time on the International Space Station. Christina and I just
Max
have
is
great
the
fun
worst.
memories of this. You'll start to see the stars, and if you give it enough time, you will see so many stars. It's hard to see the constellations because there are so many stars out there. And the coolest part of those stars is they do not twinkle at all. They are just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect pinpricks of light.
They also cut out saying him like, why did they cut it out? He said they almost look fake, but they cut it out.
Well, I don't know. Go to the source video. This isn't the source video.
Dude, I promise you. That's the
That's
source. Here, what?
That's not the source video. That's a vertical video. That's not the source.
Oops.
Witty was yapping about this very same thing today. And why would they just bleep out kind of half-assededly the word fake and
I don't
not
know,
just
dude.
delete the whole segment? It makes
Why
no
are you watching Witsit?
I
Because he's
love
back.
Witsit is
He's
my
back
spirit
finally.
Spirit
I
animal.
mean, I don't know how am I gonna find the OG.
Uh-huh.
I wonder.
This is C-SPAN. I mean, do you guys not trust C-SPAN?
Just always go to the original. Why is this a hard thing? Go to the highest quality, closest to the source for all media.
And another thing, couldn't that just be like a figure of speech, since you're used to see the stars from surface of the Earth twinkling, and then you
BBC
go up there,
News.
and they are like stable pinpricks of lights.
What about the full interview from CBS News? Would this be considered the source?
Nope. The source would be from NASA. CBS is not the source of the NASA video. NASA is the source.
Okay, well, NASA doesn't keep their streams up, dude.
They have one live stream that they've been doing. So
Yeah,
you're,
but
yeah,
it closes
so
every 12 hours, though. Unfortunately,
it's the same. It's the same one that hasn't changed the whole time. But the thing
wrong,
that they haven't done yet is they haven't posted all of that. So I don't know. I haven't looked up, but I'm figuring that they're going to post.
Oh, here we go.
The videos.
No, it's a wrap up. Let's see. Do they have a question there? No. So you wouldn't accept the CBS News? Because I mean, if I get CBS News,
what was
C-SPAN,
this? Now, hold on. Was this the delay that you were talking about, or was this where the word, select words
two
were
things.
dropped out? Well, so
I mean,
if
this
you're
is
talking
from
about the delay, either of them, I'd want the source for that. But the delay at 48,000 miles, you said?
something like that. I think that's where they were.
Yeah.
What is it?
At 48,000 miles, the delay is about a quarter of a second. The round trip's about half a second, which isn't all that different from what you and I have right now.
Can you? Nope, this is not it. There is this one. Where's the questions? Artemis interview questions from child. Take questions on their way to the moon. So this was it. It was about right. It wasn't on their way to the moon though. It was kind of like a little beforehand. Yeah, this is they had multiple interviews. Man, you're really making me work for this OG video before you got to go to bed here. I'll tell you what.
Take your time, find it.
Is it this one?
Look,
Yeah,
I
this
have a
looks like the
question,
one.
Beasticles.
Hold on. This is it right here, I think. Where they get the mic in his. No, it's not that. I'm listening.
Why do you believe this? So Noah basically put the conclusion before the evidence, right? Do you take the same position, like space in and of
No.
itself is impossible?
Oh, but if that's impossible?
Yeah.
There's certain things about space in terms of like physics. Like I still don't understand rocket propulsion. What is it? What is the like? I don't understand what it's pushing off of.
Yeah, it's pushing off of itself.
That's
This
retarded.
is easy. So, have you ever gone wheelchair bowling?
No.
So, here's what you do: you go to a garage sale, you buy a wheelchair, and you get a couple for everybody, and you go to a bowling alley, and then you go bowling as if you're handicapped. And so my friend, he's quite strong, and he likes to really crank the ball. So he rolls up there, and he gets like a kind of a heavy ball, and he just wails it down the lane there. But he didn't lock the tire, so his wheelchair just rotated, and it just fell on the ground, and then like hardly moved at all, hit the gutter, got a gutter ball. So so what was the bowling ball pushing off of? Nothing. If he did the exact same thing with a balloon that was the same size as the bowling ball, would his wheelchair have rotated? No, he's not pushing off of the air. He's pushing the mass of the bowling ball. You can test this yourself without a wheelchair. You can get on one of those, if you have a chair that has wheels on it, like an office chair on a hard floor, and get a bowling ball and throw it, and get a basketball and throw it, and which one pushes you back more?
Yep.
Same thing.
Same
amount of air. Same amount of air pushed.
Beasticles, you've seen Action Labs, yeah?
Yeah. The little syringe that he lights with a little
No,
laser.
just in general, like Action Labs. I think a lot of flatties trust Action Labs. They
Yeah, no, I know
choose
what you're
what
talking
not to
about.
trust them. Yeah. But he's done the Coke
syringe
can in
doesn't
a
move.
vacuum, right?
Yeah, the
But
syringe does not move until the smoke like
I
literally
haven't
is
seen the
bouncing off the wall.
syringe video.
Oh,
I'm talking
dude,
about the Coke, the Coke can. There's pressure inside of the Coke can, and when he releases it inside of a vacuum,
Okay.
what do you think happens? Do you think it
Check
just
this out.
doesn't do anything?
I'll show you exactly what happens here. So you can literally see it in real time. Here, there's a better angle here. Yeah, right here. All right. It's actually pretty cool. But check this out. You can literally see the syringe not move. This is all in a split second, but it does not move at all. It's literally throwing out the end, right? Thrust, but it's in a vacuum. Does not move at all.
Well,
Still hasn't moved.
acceleration. But if you want to accelerate something, as you add the force, it takes a bit of time before it gets up to speed. Did you take that into account?
Hold on, wait. Why isn't it moving at all until, check this out, until the smoke actually hits the container walls, and now it has something to push off of. It's pushing off of the smoke.
You think there's a pillar?
How do you push off of smoke?
What do you mean?
Push off. It's like, can you push a rope?
What do you think a rocket is pushing off of? Air?
No.
So if that syringe was right up
What do you
against
think
the wall, would
thrust
it
is? Hold on.
immediately fire?
Let me steelman you, Beasticles, for the crowd. All right. What Beasticles is saying
I'll let
is
you
that
we'll see it.
Yeah, what Beasticles is saying is
Later,
that the
McToon.
air is shooting out,
Later, soon.
and it's shooting out in a fashion that is not conducive to something happening immediately, it has to first hit the edge of some sort of container, and then when it bounces off, right? Some sort of container, something that allows it to react to the reaction, right?
Yep.
What do we have to say about that, fellas?
Same thing with the video that that Max just posted. Now, if you look closely at the
Whoa,
video, the scale doesn't.
wait a second.
Don't lie to me
That's
about
fine. That's
my
fine.
video.
No, it's fine. Let Max react to what I said first, and then you can jump into his video.
Yeah, in the video
Go ahead,
that I
Max.
sent you, the one that you were just
Whoa.
about to lie on.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna lie,
the
dude. Shut up, dude.
the
Stop saying I was gonna
needle
lie.
the needle of the scale starts moving as soon as the rocket ignites. So
What
Well,
I'd
see,
like to
no,
do
the
though
thing
is
there
get-
is a. Well, I want to be clear about that. Hold on, wait. I found that scale, rocket, or rocket and vacuum.
Can we react to
Vacuum.
what you said first, though? Like, was there any reaction to his video that he showed? What, by the way,
Right here. This
what
is the
was
video
the,
he showed. It's the same one. I
okay.
promise you.
Go ahead.
Am I right, Max? This is the same one.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So check this out. When you look at it in real time, or not real time, but in slow motion, okay. So whatever is ignited in terms of the thing that ignites in the first place, watch. The scale already reacts to it for a second, but I'll show you when it starts to go back again. Watch, ready? So we're coming up right here. Okay. Now we're in slow-mo, okay? Boom, react, bam. You see that? You see how the scale's already starting to move?
Yeah, because the rocket is turned on. Did
Yeah,
you see
right,
the
so-
puff of smoke?
Now watch. Not see the smoke filling? Smoke is filling. Now see how it goes back and forth. It's trying to zero out, right? Because it's a scale. It's trying to zero out, right? But look, it doesn't go all the way back again. It stops right here. The smoke is filled up. Boom. My point is proven. It has to have something to push off of.
No.
So what you're saying then is that the rocket, hang on, like
rewind
when Artemis was launched, it should move slower. Hang on, it should move slower and slower the higher it gets as the atmosphere gets less dense.
let
further away from the Earth.
Listen, wait a second, guys. Let Max hold on a second. Let Max talk before XFEOG talks or Stefan, because this was directly sent to Max. All right, and then you guys can talk. Go ahead, Max.
So as soon as you see the first puff of smoke, the needle moves. That's it. That's all you need. You just keep
what do you mean
accelerating.
that's all you need.
Yeah. That's acceleration in a vacuum. Boom. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, but you have to take into consideration it's a scale, right? And have you ever like bounced your finger on a scale and how it goes back and forth and like you let go and it's like it tries to zero out afterwards, right? That's what it's doing right now. Now watch.
How?
As soon as but watch, boom. Now you see how there's force on it now, but there's no force on it until it fills up the chamber with smoke.
The force already happened. So you need to explain to me, why does the needle move in the first puff of smoke?
It moves the scale. It's just like it's from the actual ignition.
Okay, so it's generating a force. Got it. There, you can exert force in a vacuum.
No, you're being unfair.
No, I'm not. That's the point.
Look, watch. See that?
Puff of smoke,
the scale's
moving
moving.
the needle. That's it. Point proven.
Where's the smoke? What are you talking about?
There. Go back.
You're talking
That's
about the
the
top
smoke.
half.
That's the smoke now. So
But you know how you start those roller rockets, right?
But I'm being But I'm being fair. Look, see, it goes back and then goes back below zero. Oh, and then it starts to go.
That's
and
not
now
what he's talking about,
now-
these tickles.
But watch, it doesn't swing back again to zero out because now it has force, but it has force when the smoke or when the chamber is filled with smoke. It has something to push off of now.
Are you talking about an initial force?
Yeah,
the initial
you're
force
talking
is
about
by
an
the ignition. Whatever
first
he
puff-
uses
in
to
the
ignite
first-
it rocks the
Nope.
scale, dude.
Dude, in the first puff of smoke, that rocket is exerting thrust, you can see it when the needle moves in the first puff of smoke. Then the rocket continues, like fully ignites, and you get the full brunt of the force. But we demonstrated with this video, and just go back and look at the first puff of smoke, that you do get a force in the vacuum while it's not filled up. And that's the point. That's how it works.
Can you go back to the first burn of smoke for the?
Yeah, I'm going
okay.
frame by frame. Here, I'll just wait and do one big.
Plus, didn't Globy McGlobeface make a video about the being up against, like, to have more thrust and all that other stuff with the forces with a fan and stuff like that, and putting stuff up behind it saying there should be less force and all that other stuff, like how you're saying?
Okay. Hold on, wait,
Look there. The
right there.
needle,
Okay. Number one, is
look
it
at where the
zeroed
needle
out?
is. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does, dude. You're
No,
being
it doesn't.
totally disingenuous.
No, it doesn't.
Does it? Is it zeroed out?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Where's
look
the
it.
zero?
Can you
It
start
doesn't
at the very
matter.
beginning?
Hold on,
It does
be
matter.
fair.
Absolutely
It
matters.
totally matters. Thank you,
No,
eggshells.
it doesn't.
Look, so the
Why
zero right
wouldn't it?
now, yeah, dude, the zero is actually not at zero.
Have
It's
you
a little
ever
bit
heard
beforehand.
of a tear? Do you know what a tear
Yes,
is?
yes, I know what a tear
Okay.
is. Yes.
So it doesn't matter if it's zeroed out, does it?
Okay, I'm trying to say
Okay.
that the zero is
get
not
to the
actually at the
actual-
zero.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
So
shut the
we-
fuck
we've
up so I can
established-
speak.
We've established that the zeroing out
Shut
doesn't
up,
matter.
retard.
Moving on to the
Frame
next.
forward. Go frame
Okay.
forward by one.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I want to
just-
see this whole play. Yeah, go back.
Yeah,
go
so
show us a few
eggshells.
frames back and forward.
Yeah, sure. I'll go.
Please.
I'm going frame by frame back. I'm going frame forward, frame forward, frame forward. Like literally, that's as close as I can get.
So that's the starting frame. I see.
That's
so it
the
starts
starting
below
frame.
zero. Okay.
Thank
yep.
you for being honest.
Wait,
All right,
which
starts
doesn't
below
matter.
zero.
Well, one second.
Just
One-
can you hear
thank
my
you for
point,
being
please?
honest.
Yeah,
One second,
I will hear
Beasticles.
your point when
We-
you stop bringing up irrelevant stuff, like if it's teared
Dude,
or not.
shut
It's
up.
not teared, doesn't matter. Go on.
I do want to point out one thing, okay? One thing. There is a puff of smoke on the initial frame. That's all I'm going to
Yes.
say. You
Yeah,
can
I
see it.
agree with you. Watch.
Okay.
Boom. Puff of smoke.
Yeah. So you know
Now,
about that
now
one.
watch. Now watch.
Oh, neither
watch
moving,
this
point
go.
proven. That's
It goes back.
That's all you need.
It goes
Shut
back
up,
because
you
it's trying to
incel.
zero out, dude.
That's it.
What do you mean it
That's
goes
it.
back?
And
because
then
it's trying to
watch.
Zero out. Can you
Watch,
say
watch,
that
watch,
again?
watch. So you know how
Yeah,
you have
let
a
it ride,
scale?
Max. Let writing have a shot at it.
So you see how like you have a scale and you push your finger on it real quick and it rocks back and forth until it finds
Sure.
equilibrium
Fuck
again.
up, nigga.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
You see
someone
what I'm
can
saying?
see that.
It has it's springs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
waggles.
right, exactly. So bam, it initially moves. There's the smoke. Now it
Point
goes back
proven.
down, but then it goes back forward. And then
Yeah,
it doesn't
you
go
see
back. Hold on,
Wait.
listen. Could you listen for like 2 seconds, please? Thank you.
just let
Yeah,
him speak,
let him go
Max.
through it.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so then it doesn't go back to where it initially started, which was a little bit before zero, right? So that's when it has the force right here. Bam.
No, it has a force the second
Sure.
the needle is moving.
So are you saying then, Beast?
The smoke
Once
is
what's
filled up,
happened
though.
during that time, right, is there's almost a column or a pillar of smoke off the back wall helping push that forwards, and it's all of those connecting particles.
Yeah, but that doesn't
So-
work
Once-
in the initial moment when the needle is moving and the
You're just
vacuum
being
chamber is
dishonest.
not filled up.
What?
No.
Once the
you're
rocket
cherry-picking.
fires, it's not a
No.
vacuum.
Yeah,
The
but I
Number
think
one,
that's gonna
we've
be. I think
established
that
though.
is true.
Once the rocket starts to fire, it's not a vacuum.
That's a good point.
I think
It-
that
the
is. I think that
vacuum
is true. But
It's
but
not
but
a
it's-
vacuum. That's only
Right,
a
okay.
tiny little fucking vacuum chamber.
Right.
You'd need a huge
Sure.
vacuum chamber to do it properly.
Sure,
But
but
I
I,
mean-
I and I think that's going to be a no
As
true
soon as
Scotsman
it
fallacy,
fires,
right?
It works the
It-
same way. It would escalate.
doesn't-
It would
you're
scale
wrong.
the exactly
The
same
problem
way.
with this experiment is that the needle starts with the puff of smoke already, right?
Right, but that's just from the
I've
ignition.
seen that one. It doesn't work. It's too small a vacuum chamber. The other one, you watch it, it doesn't move at all until the vacuum chamber is actually compromised. It's not a vacuum anymore. So how can you sit back and say it's in a vacuum?
But I
Because
think
the
to that
video
doc,
that I
if I
posted,
can,
which is way better than this one, the needle starts moving in the first puff of smoke, and that just proves the point.
No, but you have to
So I
take into
think- but I think
consideration
Rob-
there is an like whatever ignites it, that gives a force regardless.
Yeah,
it's
it
going to
didn't
be in
move
all
at all.
directions.
So you can have a force in a vacuum. Point proven. Thank
There
you
you
very much.
go.
From the explosion.
No.
Hang on, from the explosion. Tell me about that.
That's
Tell me
the
about that.
entire fucking argument, bro.
Yeah, let's go dive into that.
But it's just from the initial whatever this is that ignites it right here.
Yep. Yeah.
Poof. Wait.
You understand
Sure.
it now.
So what
Go
is
back.
that? What
Go
is that
back. Go
doing?
back.
So what is
That's
that
called
initial
rocket
explosion
propulsion,
doing?
bro.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
I think you've nailed it.
moving. It's
It doesn't
moving
move.
the scale. Watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Watch.
so generating a force, right?
First
So
of all,
now
scale-
you know how
Oh,
rockets work.
Watch.
Yeah, rockets are just a slow
No.
explosion.
Now
Boom.
take that
Boom.
single explosion
Okay.
and do it a bunch of times. That's a rocket.
Or make it a big explode, make it a continuous explosion.
Big fucking
But
explosion.
But here's my thing. That little ignition, all right,
Yeah.
is enough to get the scale rocking. Like imagine you hit your finger, it just went ting.
Do you
see what I'm
think the
saying?
fucking scale rocks
I don't see
because
it
of
rocking,
nothing?
No,
Hold on
no,
a second,
no.
Max. Hold on.
Wait,
What,
look.
do you think
now,
the scale rocks because
now
there's
goes
no
back.
force? Hold on,
No.
hold on. Beasticles.
No,
Are you
it's-
saying that this? Go ahead.
It's there. He's something is pulling a string to ignite the rocket. Okay, it's connected to the
Oh
scale.
God.
So the initial pull is causing the scale to rock for
No,
a second,
you don't
and then
know that. No,
hold on.
That's
Hold
dishonest,
on.
bro.
Yeah,
not
because
dishonest.
that is probably not a rope. That is probably a wire doing an electric.
It's a wire.
Yes.
It's
It's
electric.
a wire.
It's a wire. It started electrically.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, the
And then you
rope
see
argument-
how it doesn't go back below towards the zero. Now see that now it has the force
Yeah,
that
because
you
it has
guys
a
are looking
continuous
for.
force acting upon it. Gee,
Yeah,
I
and
wonder why.
smoke is
Yes.
filled in the
That's
chamber.
interesting.
Oh goodness.
The vacuum chamber
So-
is too small to get a measurement.
Yeah.
But
Period.
Doc,
Yeah,
that,
I wish
that,
it
that
could
ends
be
up
done.
being that ends up being a
That's wrong.
risk of
Compromises
being
the
a no
vacuum.
flip.
It's that
This
simple.
is
No,
an
Doc,
inconclusive
you're
proof.
fucking wrong, Doc. Whatever you're
No,
saying,
I'm not
Doc.
wrong.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
you
He's
are.
wrong. There's smoke in there now.
No,
What are you
I'm
talking
But-
about? It's not a vacuum anymore.
The vacuum's
Yeah, but we already-
Okay. Then how do you explain the
What-
initial fucking measurement of the force, Doc? Go ahead.
I have a look at that. How that's
Fucking
set
idiot.
up.
Yep.
Easy.
Who's okay?
Go ahead.
Find the rocket. One. There's a bloke does one with a balloon on 4 wheels.
Balloon.
And explain that one.
Oh,
on
so let's
4
not
wheels,
do
rocket.
examples of the exact
Let's
thing
run
that we're
away
looking
from
for.
this shit.
Let's
Run
do
away from
balloon.
this shit.
Okay, got it.
No. I think I'll be honest and say that both of these, the one here and the one there, just to be fair.
Why don't
it's
you be honest and say that you didn't have an
Inconclusive.
explanation?
Inconclusive. now.
About what?
about why there was a force exerted initially.
It's from the initial ignition. Whatever it is.
That is called rocket propulsion.
So
That's
putting
what-
electricity
Yeah.
through a
Fucking
wire causes force.
Let
Right, let's
Redding.
hear
I'd like to hear what Redding says. Redding,
Yeah,
can
I want to. I want
do you
wrap
see
it
that?
up?
I want to ask you this question, Biasticles. Let's say I went up into, just imagine for a second space or a vacuous thing exists above us, and I went up there and I just let a massive Moab, massive mother of all bombs, go off right out the back. Let's say I armored plated the back of a vehicle, and I just went punk, and out a little port, I put a bomb on a fuse and then shut the port, and then it went and went off right outside the back door. But mostly vacuum, right? Vacuum isn't real. 100% vacuum's not real. But there's very little there, and a bomb goes off right next to me. What do you think my
The
capsule
force
would
would
do?
go in. Well, first of all, that bomb, it would be in all directions, right? It would come out radially.
Yep.
Right. Number one. Number two, it would move your rocket. Yeah, it would move your rocket in a direction based off of where it blew up. I agree.
Okay. And so it's pushing off the bomb, you would be saying. So then it does have something to push off, I guess, is what you're saying.
Correct.
The bomb, the expanding gas and particles and speed of
That's what
stuff
it's
heading
pushing off
towards the thing would go
Yep.
ping, 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 ping off the back of my armor-plated space capsule, and then I can get rocket flight in space. Because as you're saying, if you draw a line between the center of that explosion and the center of my capsule, I will only catch the vector of explosives going my direction, right?
Going
So I'm going
in,
to have a
in one, yeah, going.
whereas it
linearly.
fan out everywhere. all of the ones except that vector I don't care about, but the one that hit my vector would push me forwards. So what about if I turned the bomb around and I kept it inside my ass and I only gave it one place it could escape from, which is like right on my asshole. And I went boom, and this one does, instead of going and being over in a fraction of a second, this one goes.
You're talking about the nozzles
Well,
and the explosions inside of the nozzle, right?
Yeah.
The problem with
What
that
would-
is
what
you
would
would have
happen then?
counteracting forces because it's literally pushing in all directions, like we just
Bingo.
discussed.
Right. So, it's
then you
pushing
would
in all
have,
directions, but it's pushing in all
have
directions inside, let's say, a spherical chamber. But that
That'd be
spherical
super
chamber